Hey, have you guys ever heard of Patreon?
I think I have.
Yeah, I think it's like a royal guard.
It's that maybe, but also it's a website where podcasters and other creators can get people to give them money for making their product.
You mean we can get paid for this?
Kind of. For a mere $3 a month, you, loyal listener, can feed or get drunk a starving podcaster.
I feel like we need some like Sarah McLachlan behind this kind of. I will remember you.
I almost did with arms wide open. I was like, that's not the song.
That's how you get people to not give you money.
So check it out. Patreon.com/worstpeople. That's WORSE. $3 a month. You get access to exclusive episodes. Find us, love us, support us. Thank you.
I don't believe I want to live in a country where you have to stay open on Sunday to do business.
I'm Derrick.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
This is Bad Movies.
Worst People.
We're back for Mental Health Month, and this week we're talking about Jack's pick. What is that, Jack?
That Thing You Do.
That Thing You Do.
1996.
Right?
It's That Thing You Do!
You know what? There is an exclamation on this. What's her name? Elaine from Seinfeld would appreciate your exclamation points. Yeah, 1996. That Thing You Do! This is a Tom Hanks joint.
All around.
All around. I mean, he didn't, you know what I appreciate about him?
What do you appreciate about him?
He didn't Costner this thing. He didn't make it about him. Like, he is the writer. He is the director. He's not the cinematographer, and he's not the star.
No, but he did write the songs, or at least helped write the songs.
He didn't write them. Fountain, what's the guy from
Adam Schlesinger.
Rest in peace, by the way. Rest in Pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, died 2020, COVID complications, something like that.
Well, according to the IMDb credits, at least, it was like both of them.
Okay.
And so it said like written by Tom Hanks and whatever, but also Adam Schlesinger was.
When I read it was Adam said, I never thought my song would be picked because they had kind of like an open competition for it, like send in songs and we'll see if we can use them. He just wanted to do it as a personal exercise. And well, that exercise paid off.
And this movie came out like the same year or the year before or something, their first album. So I'm sure that helped.
That doesn't hurt.
This movie, though, was supposed to be 108 minutes.
Okay.
But Jack made it 147 minutes.
I didn't. I made it that much for myself.
He said we had to watch the same movie as you.
Oh, see, I was hoping you wouldn't because it's your first time. All right, here's the elephant in the room. It's like a 90-minute movie normally, very well cut, very well paced. 108, same thing as 90 when you get down to it.
As long as it's not one of those movies we usually do.
I mean, you know, we got the credits at the end. We're fine. But I wanted to watch Tom Hanks' cut because I thought extra footage. For someone that's seen this movie 20, 25 times, extra footage sounded good. When I found out that you guys are watching the same one, I thought, well, good for Whitney, bad for Derrick, because now Derrick's not going to see. The reason this is a mental health movie for me is because of that 108-minute cut.
Okay.
It is just in, out with all the good stuff and no clunkiness, no like, well, what's this doing here? And there are some of these things I liked, the added scenes. But if I'm showing this to somebody, it's going to be the original cut. It's better done.
Okay. I don't know. I looked at the differences and I was like, it seems like all the scenes that I felt were important aren't in the original.
But you find out they're not important.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's more setting up of people getting together at the end. There's more of that you just kind of don't need.
Well, there's
I still appreciate
apparently
it.
the whole thing about Jimmy trying to get them to record, what was it? All My Only Dreams. That wasn't in the original.
It was, but really not as long.
Okay.
It's very quick when he's talking with Uncle Bob, played by Christopher Isaacs. Did you recognize that him?
Yeah.
That's him?
And then their experience at the Orpheum Theater, which I guess must have just been longer versus...
It's much... You don't see them go out there and kind of freaking out about how many people are going to be there. And I do like that it ends with them like clapping and jumping on stage and having a gallivant.
Yeah.
But it didn't do anything for me. That I see this as like a fan cut. This is what you do if you're a super fan. Like, well, give me what's left on the cutting room floor.
Okay, so then riddle me this. The ending, from what I read, is completely different. Basically.
No.
Because he has no idea what he's going to do with his life.
Yes.
So does he still get together with Dell?
Yes.
In the original?
Do you want to get there? Or do you want me to just tell you now?
Yeah, we'll just... These are mental health movies. They're movies most people have seen.
Okay, fair enough. He does record with Dell. The little 2-piece, I Am Spartacus drumline. He does get with Faye. What doesn't happen is him calling Clint Howard
the radio station
at the radio station and getting a job. All you see later is him holding a box of tape, the tapes that he recorded, and we assume that it's the recordings of him and Dell jamming, not knowing it's him getting a job. The movie lets you decide what is information you want or don't want by saying, here's the facts. He's in love with Faye. They'll make it all work.
Okay.
You know, it's very...
It's a Tom Hanks movie.
It's a Tom Hanks movie. And man, I got to tell you, I'm still reeling. I want you to watch this fucking... The reason it's a mental health zipper.
You know what? I'll have to wait because I don't know how many more times I can hear That Thing You Do.
I was worried about this. I will say this. It does use that song a lot, but for myself, and I'm going to speak for Whitney, it's okay.
It is.
It's a good song. I really enjoy the song. I just don't know if I can listen to it for 2.5 hours.
I could listen to that right fucking now.
I could too. And I'm usually one that like skips the end of songs because I'm over it.
Yeah.
Over it.
I mean, but it's not like other movies we've seen with like Justine.
Exactly.
It actually has a chorus and a verse. It's not much more than that, but it's more.
It's not. But I will say 17 minutes in, you get That Thing You Do.
Uh-huh.
They say it.
They say it. Mm-hmm. Did I explain this was mental health? Did I already say that?
Yes.
I think we did.
We've said it a couple times.
Yeah. It's May. It's mental health. We're watching good movies.
We said it last episode. What if they didn't listen to last episode?
Put a stinger and fix it in post. Go on.
All right. Mental health movies are movies that we like to watch. Go.
Yes. I mean, this one is, for me there's a moment in this movie that we will talk about that I had to use today because I woke up in a shit mood and I was like, man, I almost want to cancel, this recording because I feel like my mental health movie deserves me to be in a good mood. But when this scene came up, I was like, I'm fixed. I'm better now. And I've used this and will continue to use this movie to brighten me up a bit.
Derrick had a shit morning too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's better now. If not, there's a certain part of the movie I can put on right now for you.
I got my 3.5 hours of sleep.
That's
good.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
But I will say another surprising mental health movie for us that didn't really make any money.
Yeah.
$26 million to make the movie, $34.5 million worldwide.
Wow.
So that's another. I guess we just like things that aren't good to the world.
I mean, I think this is good. It just didn't. I don't know who's the star in this movie besides Tom Hanks at the time.
Well, and
I know
it's
Steve
also
Zahn. The only other thing I knew Steve Zahn from was Reality Bites,
and he doesn't really make it out of this role.
No,
Steve,
he does kind of keep that.
He's always kind of this beautifully lovable idiot.
Yes.
Reminds me of myself a lot.
Yes, I was thinking that.
Like there are moments I'm like, oh, come on. Too on the nose, Steve.
No, I'm here for the pig contest. I'm going to get blue ribbon.
I mean, Ethan Embry and Liv Tyler were at Empire Records, but that would only appeal to a certain group of people.
Two of them are sitting right fucking here.
Yeah, but I mean like a certain generation, basically, right?
Yeah.
And they're also not the generation who's going to go see this movie, because this movie's clearly made for an older generation.
It's easy with that older word.
But I mean, at the time, like it's a nostalgia thing for people who were in their 40s or 50s, because they were in their teens and 20s when this music was a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I remember the first time I watched this. I was a freshman in high school, and I watched it with my parents. And my stepdad had to rewind a couple because when he likes something and he laughs, he's like, I laughed over it.
Couple
rewind.
Penises? What do you have to do?
He had to rewind some
a couple
penises.
Oh, I heard penises in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I got penis in the brain. I don't remember my first time watching this, like most things in life. I just have memories of knowing it.
I remember my first time.
Oh, do you? What was his name?
Who took your cherry?
Whatever she says at the end of the movie. Dale Grabowski.
Yeah, 61.
But yes, this was directed by Tom Hanks, as we mentioned, who's only directed one other movie.
Oh, yeah?
It's Larry Crown from 2011, which he also wrote.
It's okay.
I never saw it again.
It's him going back to college, and I think Julia Roberts is in it.
Tom Hanks is. You're a big fan of Tom Hanks.
Kind of an understatement.
What?
I wish I could sew myself to him.
I have no idea.
If you could have it be in a threesome with Tom Hanks and Kevin Costner.
Get Kevin Costner out of there. I'm taking Tom Hanks twice.
Oh damn. No, you just throw in a little Rita in there.
No, I just want I want Kevin Costner to have me beg for his seed.
He's watching.
He's used to it.
But Tom Hanks has this thing, and it might be part of the reason that I never saw this. It's definitely part of the reason I never saw this, and it might be part of the reason it wasn't super successful. Is like he's got a very like saccharine thing to his like entire career post the 80s.
Yes.
And like this movie, like I saw the first when I was going on IMDb to look some stuff up, there was a review I just scrolled by, but I happened to catch a couple words, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, just the beginning. This is a really great movie, no question. I rarely watch a film that's so skillfully crafted and yet is completely inoffensive to any segment of society. And then it goes on from there, but that's the part you can see.
Yeah.
That's like a summary of Tom Hanks' career after, I don't know, Bachelor Party.
Bachelor Party's a caveat, yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe The Burbs is a little more like not for...
But he's at least still like the American homemaker.
Yeah.
So it's not the saccharine you're talking about, but it is still wholesome and vanilla.
I absolutely love him in Turner and Hooch.
You have to. To see his ball sack in those tighty whities.
Yeah, you can. There's also a scene that in that movie that I remember my parents telling me was him ad-libbing, and that was when he bites the girl's butt when they're in the kitchen. Like, she was not expecting that at all.
If only.
Wait, if only you could bite her butt, or if only he could bite your butt?
Potato. I was worried about this being too sweet for Derrick, because this is a surprising pick for most people to hear that it's my mental health, because it is just wholesome and sweet, but that's what I need.
You have been saying it for a year, and you haven't been hemming and hawing. You're like, if we do a mental health, I'm doing that thing you do.
The only thing that was even close to this is Empire Records. Because both of those are just like, Empire Records has more tumultuous moments.
Yes.
Not that it has many, but it's just, I know what I'm in for. It's a quick ride to get my head right, and then I'm back to whatever reality I choose for myself.
Are you saying Liv Tyler is your mental health lady?
Okay, dude, I didn't realize how much I fucking loved Liv Tyler until I was talking
Especially in this
Kendra
movie.
about it. Well, this Empire Records. So we had a thing where I said, just on looks, not on their character's personality, but Liv Tyler's character or Charlize Theron's character.
Oh, fuck Charlize Theron's character.
I know, but looks-wise.
I don't know, man.
No, Liv Tyler.
My first note is, who wouldn't make out with a 96 Charlize Theron?
Absolutely. Dude, she is a fucking smoke show in this.
Basically anything outside of that movie Monster.
This style is doing it for me, too. Like, all these little fucking bobs and doo-wop shit and the poodle skirts. And
I couldn't get over her attitude. I know I'm not supposed to, but like, looks alone, yes, she looks amazing.
They set it up more to hate her in the extended cut.
Yeah.
In the quick cut, it's much more of like, she's just not feeling guy, and here comes Dr. Hunky Dentist, and it's over. It's very quick.
Right, because in the original, you don't find out it's their year, quote, quote, anniversary, because they don't have that little bedroom time.
That first scene? Okay. I feel like her entire purpose in this movie is just to keep Guy and Faye apart until the end, because Guy is not the kind of guy that would cheat on her, and Faye is not the kind of girl that would cheat on her boyfriend.
Or steal somebody.
I don't think Guy would be the type of guy to sleep with his friend's girlfriend anyway.
Right.
But I agree with what you're saying.
He was friends with Faye. He was never friends with Jermaine.
That's true.
But I mean, I think that's because she's like not in this movie. It's like she's there for you to hate, basically, but also it's a reason for him to not have any kind of interest in Faye beyond. I mean, you see the eyeballs and stuff, but he never even tries to act on it. But that's also a Tom Hanks.
Absolutely. I think they do a beautiful job of setting up this pre-romance where it's just two people that enjoy each other's company. Like, they are just friends. The scene, which is an added one, by the way, where she brings sandwiches. He's like, never bring me bologna.
Yeah.
And she's like, we can make your own fucking sandwich. It's playful, then she shoves it in his face. There's nothing, it's all innocent there. But you're like, oh my God, these two are just really good friends.
I have a question, and this is just me, like, making things make sense to me. Do you feel
8.5 inches to the right. Talk about Tom Hanks' dick?
It's to the left.
No, it's not.
So Tom Hanks wrote this, and my parents was always like, my mom was always into like celebrities and everything that's in their life, and she, like you, loves Tom Hanks.
It's America's sweetheart.
I'm wondering if his Guy is essentially Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
His first wife, Tina. Second wife, Rita, is Liv Tyler. His first wife was in his life for a little bit, and it was perfect. They had their kids, but then he met Rita, who was this amazing best friend.
Turned out to be the love of your life.
Exactly. Absolute, till this day, still married and happy.
I never really thought about that.
I
but
just made that connection today watching it.
You put in what you know. I mean, you write from life experience.
There
usually
are things in this movie that, I only know from trivia because I don't know Tom Hanks' life, it's a lot of stuff that reflects his career becoming famous. So it could make sense.
The Ohio thing.
Yeah.
Well, they also make executives just the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
And they absolutely do.
Well,
I want to talk about a cut scene real quick that was awkward as fuck. When Guy shows up drunk and Tom Hanks has Howie Long waiting for him. First of all, I was like, what the fuck is Howie Long doing in this movie? He's never been in this movie. This is the only scene he's in, and the scene never existed. Cut to Howie Long and Tom Hanks are in some beautiful little, Ferrari convertible. And he's like, hey, bring him. And Tom Hanks is laughing.
Going?
He's like, bring him, Mr. Grumpy to Mr. Happy. Where are you going? Is this an orgy?
Eyes Wide Shut sex party.
It most definitely is.
Second movie in a row, by the way, with an Eyes Wide Shut sex party in it.
Second movie in a row with a Betty Ross, we discovered.
Yes.
Yes. That's right. We talked about that off air.
Last week was Jennifer Connelly, who was in the Ang Lee one. And then now we got Liv Tyler, who's in the...
Can you please explain who Betty Ross is?
The Leterrier one. Betty Ross is...
Bruce Banner's love interest.
Yes.
Okay. So, I don't know movies as much as you guys do.
Her dad is like the one always hunting. He's General Ross.
Okay.
General Thunderbolt Ross.
Ends up becoming Red Hulk for a bit,
Okay.
We won't go into that.
It's too bad William Hurt's too old to be Red Hulk.
I know, because he would have been great. They have William Hurt playing
He's the one that plays Thunderbolt Ross. Actually, like in the Edward Norton one, which isn't technically part of the MCU,
right?
But then he continues on playing because he's in the first Iron Man too. Mm-hmm. But anyway... I have one more fun fact because I mentioned this to you once many moons ago when we were doing Trick or Treat Williams, but I haven't been able to find the DVD of it or anything of it. Tom Hanks directed one episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
Starring Treat Williams. It also has Tom Hanks, of course, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Don Perry, who you'll know as Pickles, Mr. Bober.
I knew exactly when you said Pickles. That's true,
from Scrubs, for the people who aren't idiots like me.
Why can't Tales from the Crypt figure out their fucking streaming bullshit, dude? You cannot, not even streaming. You can't buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, this is the 90s Tales from the Crypt, and I found a version on DVD on eBay, but I had to import it from England, and it was already like a $50 DVD.
Yeah.
Plus the shipping charges. I was like, nah.
Nope. It's sad,
this
though.
One
this
episode.
is me and the bleeps, dude. We talk about Tales from the Crypt all the time, and I can't watch it with them. It's upsetting.
That is upsetting.
Very upsetting.
But so Tom Hanks, this is his first directorial feature.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say his first directorial debut.
This is his first directorial debut.
Not his second directorial debut, mind you.
And he got like some real talent behind it. Like I've been looking at the other people, like the composers, cinematographer Tak Fujimoto.
Oh, shit, I know that name.
Yeah.
If
you don't know his name, listeners, Derrick's about to hit you with some fucking some bangers.
I've got some here that so I'm gonna mention my favorite one first, Death Race 2000. Forget that. But also Silence of the Lambs, Philadelphia, Devil in a Blue Dress, Sixth Sense, The Replacements, Signs. And others, lots of others.
Don't touch that dial on Replacements. That's a episode and a half.
Did you know?
Or Death Race 2000.
Didn't you not see The Replacements until we?
I never saw it until we did our Keanu-thon during COVID.
And
I enjoyed it. I think.
I know you're not a sports guy. I know you're not a sports gal.
Oh no, I love that movie.
But I think it's the perfect way to get people together. Like we could watch that with Truck.
I like sports movies. Sometimes.
Okay, all right.
He actually likes sports movies.
I mean,
we just watched Major League the other night, not for the first time, but it just came out on 4K. So
Major League has one of my favorite sequels in cinema.
I know. I think we should do it.
And the one other person I want to mention is the guy who did the music, not the band songs, but
original music.
The original music for the movie, the score.
The score, if you
will. As it were.
Which, by the way, is awesome. It's a lot of this 60s like surf rock or, I don't know, like not post-Beatles, but not quite as mop top.
Yeah. It's a guy named Howard Shore, who is, so for one of my favorite directors, David Cronenberg, he's basically his guy.
Uh-huh.
He's done almost every Cronenberg movie, like The Brood, Scanners, Videodrome, The Fly, Dead Ringers, Naked Lunch, Crash, Existence, History of Eastern Promises, Dangerous Method.
Wait a minute. Naked Lunch? Isn't that Bukowski?
The book was.
Yeah.
No. Was it?
Am I thinking of
No,
something else?
It's one of those other guys. One of those other guys that hung out with Bukowski.
Okay.
That's not one of his
Okay.
books. I can't think of the author's name right now, but David Cronenberg directed the movie, and it's got Peter Weller in it. He's also a big Scorsese guy. He did After Hours, Gangs of New York, The Departed, The Aviator. He also did Lord of the Rings, all the Lord of the Rings, all the Hobbits, Big, Philadelphia, 7.
He did all the Hobbits?
Hobbits
dude?
is this.
Big, Philadelphia, 7, The Game, Dogma.
What's Big Philadelphia?
Big Philadelphia, man. That's the one where Tom Hanks. That's the one where Tom Hanks is a child with cancer, but he grows up really fast.
He's a child
Somebody
with
makes
cancer
a-
and gets AIDS.
Somebody makes a wish and
AIDS, that's right.
his AIDS get bigger.
That's right. It's AIDS, not cancer. So let's actually get to
Let's drum
the
in this
movie.
bitch.
Yes.
Right.
So
You want to kick us off?
yeah, we get to meet the band, right? We've got Lenny, played by the incomparable Steve Zahn.
Oh, I love me some
who-
Steve Zahn.
Yeah, you're
You
gonna hear
mean Leo?
I mean Leo. You're gonna hear Whitney and I gush a little bit about this cat. You've got Jimmy, played by an actor I don't know because I don't care. I'll get you his name. He hasn't been in much. I know him as playing Jonah Hex in the CW verse of the Flash verse,
His
the
name is
Arrowverse.
Johnathan Schaech.
Johnathan Schaech.
I don't.
He was also in Roadhouse 2 as Dalton's son.
Yeah,
Who
which
is he in
it's gonna have to be an episode.
Arrow or the Flashverse?
He is
Jonah Hex.
Again, I heard that. Don't know.
Okay, so Jonah Hex played on the theater or the cinema, played by Brolin. He is a ex-Civil War rebel that goes to hell, but then comes back and his face is all mangled up. He's just a cowboy with a lot of guns that can talk to dead. He's a bounty hunter.
All right.
The comic is fine. Every adaptation we've seen has not been great.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a supernatural bounty hunter.
All
Yeah.
right. Fine. Awesome. Great
And then
grand
we've
trivia.
got at first. We've got Giovanni Ribisi playing Chad. He's the drummer.
I love me some Rivisi.
And then we've got Ethan Embry
Just being
playing the bass player.
yeah.
Because bass players are insignificant in the 60s, so he doesn't get a name.
It's TB Player.
TB Player. Oh, what's up, TB Player?
That's so on IMDb it says the bass player, but in the credits of the movie it says TB Player.
Uh-huh.
Which is funny because when we have somebody else come in later, that guy gets 2 names right away.
Yeah.
Wolfman.
Wolfman and Scott Prell.
Man, he's named twice more than this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they are at the cafe, if I'm not wrong, right? And they're shooting the shit, trying to name their band is what it is.
Yes.
And you get what about the Corvettes? Did you say Chordvettes, like musical chord?
Dude, Jimmy is stuck on this
Corvette,
thing.
You know why though?
The Beatles?
The Beatles. He's trying to be the BEAT instead of BEET. Like we
You know
have
what?
to make it
You
funny.
spelling it just now, I get it.
Is that the first time? Holy shit, dude! I know you don't like the Beatles.
Wow,
but
really?
Maybe my brain just works looking for puns and shit. That I'm like, oh, the Beatles.
So
Never got it.
Because I watched this, that's when I learned it. But I learned that back when I was 15 years old.
I told you my roommate watched this with me, and same thing. She was like, oh my god, that's why I always knew it's spelled different, but it's the beat. Tolls. I was like, yeah, what is wrong with you? I was like, you're the only person that would, never mind. Here's Derrick, also not getting it.
Question. I'm sorry to intersect.
No, please do.
But does Tom Hanks hate or like the Beatles?
I bet you he loves the Beatles. I would
Because
put money down.
there's so many references to them in this movie.
I think you have to if you're making a movie in the 60s.
Okay.
You absolutely
I mean, you have the
to.
Chimples. And then every time they go on, they're like, you tell the British we're going to invade them. We got the Oneaters.
You know that the Chimples are not in the movie, in the original cut. When I say
Are you
that,
sure?
oh yeah, you definitely don't see them rehearse. You don't see Guy
Then I must
walk
have
Does
by.
that
seen
one really
this.
play the bass or?
Yeah, you don't see that line. Does that one really play the bass? We're scrambling for a bass player.
But they're on the screen. I remember seeing them.
It's probably a flash on a monitor or something, but you do not see this rehearsal. You do not see the host dying laughing at it, and you don't see Guy walking past.
Oh.
For future reference, when I say the movie, I mean main cut.
Okay, right.
Just so I keep it nice and clear.
But you do see that. I think you get a flash of them because I remember seeing them, unless I've seen them in something
it's
else.
probably on the
but-
monitor, just
Okay.
a flash in the pan. But yeah, so he's stuck on all these funny, punny names, and I get it, but come on, Guy. And so he wants like the herdsman, which ends up being something later. But in walks Guy Patterson, who is Tom Everett Scott, who
Who's
was
not in
that
much.
Dead Man on Campus.
Yes.
Was he in that? Okay.
Yeah,
I know I recognized him from
the Bad Werewolf
Boiler
movie.
Room, The Bad American Werewolf in Paris.
See, when I say the bad one, I knew Derrick would know instantly which one I was talking
Well,
about.
we knew it's not London.
It's not London.
No, because that's the good one.
That's the good one.
That's the great one.
That's the great one.
And
Sorry, I had to
Derrick
continue.
I think Derrick has a fun fact because casting, one of the few things Tom Hanks didn't actually be in charge of, did not want this guy.
No, he was
because he
adamant.
looks too much like Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Yeah, he thought he looked too much like a young him, and he's like, we're not supposed to be related.
Yeah.
And then, his wife, Miss Rita Wilson, was like, no, he's going to be in this movie.
And I'm going to get a scene where I'm going to get real close to molesting him.
Yep.
So is she supposed to be a hooker?
No,
she's just trying to fuck him.
She is I think she's a Vegas showgirl type in New York as a waitress. Like she mentions, I got married
LA.
here, then I went, or what did I say?
New York.
Same
It's
thing.
the other
Wait, what's
one.
the difference?
East and
Besides
West
tacos?
Coast.
Besides good tacos versus bad tacos, ain't no
Bad
difference.
bagels versus good bagels.
That's
It's
exactly
bagels.
that's bagels.
Bagels.
But no, she's like she talks about I was married, I did this, and she just Tom Hanks's character knows her, and like hey, get your own guy. This is my guy.
I do want to talk about something from the extended cut because that's what I watched. When she says she's going to the new dentist, right away, I was like, oh, she's going to fuck that dentist.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron, I'm talking
Yeah.
about, by the way. It's a scene that was cut, or that wasn't in the original movie. But my note was, she's going to a new dentist, and she doesn't want him to see bruising in her throat. She won't hook up with Guy.
Yeah.
He's trying to go further, and,
Oh, this esophagus is kind of tender.
It looks like you may have a throat infection.
And just to start
Infection.
the whole movement, Guy mentions like in passing, like I wonder, and Jimmy writes down
Oh, he goes,
wonder, but he does it ONE because you gotta have puns.
I think he says wonderful.
Yeah.
Because he does the whole, that's wonderful. And then she's like, oh,
It's not even a good musical name or
No, it's
pun.
not.
Like
No, because it's literally calling yourself one hit wonder.
it reminds me of god damn it, it's gonna be on this later. Airheads.
Yes.
What's your name? The Lone Rangers. The Lone Rangers? You can't pluralize the Lone Rangers. You're not exactly lone. We're the Wonders. It's one of us.
But it does lead to something that had me laughing through pretty much the whole movie.
The Oneaters.
Steve
That's
Zahn
the
calls it too.
Onetters.
Yeah, Steve Zahn is the comic
Delight.
genius in this movie.
Yeah. Immediately, he's just like, looks like the Oneaters. And that's what they get called by everybody. Except for he goes somewhere and the guy's like, aren't you from the Oneaters?
Villa Pianos. He's like, yeah, these Oneaters. And he's like, it's the Onetters. Get it right. So now we see it happens real quick because Giovanni Ribisi is about out of this movie.
Yep.
They're
hopping-
jumping parking meters
Yep.
and falls. And I love Ethan Embry just like laughing at him on the ground. He's like, oh shit, that's serious. Because that's what you would do.
Yeah, well, then they're like, get up. You're making a scene. People are looking. And it's
And
like,
And
as
then
somebody
you see
who's
the curb, and it's like, it's a huge curb that
yeah.
he fell down 6 more inches.
But as somebody that's hurt themselves, when you know it's serious, he does a thing. He's like, oh, no. Like, he's like, I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked.
because they're supposed to be playing Battle of the Bands.
Uh-huh.
Or, something.
Talent show, Battle
Yeah.
of the Bands, high school shit, whatever.
Which, by the way, even
they're
if
not in high school.
it was
They-
a college they were playing at.
Oh, okay. I was going to
But-
say, I think that they are just out. I know guys older than them.
Yeah.
Even there's...
Because he already did a tour.
Yeah. He was there just after, not just after, but he was part of America's policing action in World War II, like over in Germany after World War II.
Okay, because he was in Munich.
I can not Hamburg. I could tell by what he was doing. I have family that did this. Like they didn't serve during the war, but they were there just to make sure the Nazis didn't come back. And it turns out they
Still an
did come
important
back,
job.
just not in Germany.
But the slow version of their song was still better than the other two songs we heard. The mariachi guys were okay, but whoever that slow-ass girl band was, I was like, are you setting this up so they're definitely the best band here? Because...
Yes. Yes. We call this sandbagging. Like, let's just get the worst musicians and somebody okay. But yeah, the band does their band practice with Guy after he...
And he's like, all right, let me set it off.
No. Before that, though, he fucking blackmails them. You
Oh,
want
he
these
does.
hands? You got to buy 2 new record needles and this radio.
Yeah.
I bring it up because Steve's on again. He's like, ugh, might as well throw no, like, what, you want me to buy a washer? Fine, we'll do it. So quick.
I have to mention it. I know Jack said he didn't want to mention it,
Go ahead.
but it was one of the only people in the movie I was like, ooh, that guy.
What, Steve's
Guy's-
on?
No, Guy's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Holmes Osborne is the actor playing Mr. Patterson. That's all we get. But he's Donnie's dad and Donnie Darko. He's also a politician of sorts in Southland Tales, which is another movie from Richard Kelly. And those are the two things I know him from.
Yeah, I know him. I mean, obviously I've seen Donnie Darko, but this is what I know him from as one of my favorite dads.
I just couldn't, like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, hey, that's Donnie Darko's dad.
He's got such a wonderful way of talking and just like, we staying open all night? We're just burning the gas here, running these lights?
All right,
yeah,
Mama.
I'm here cooking the books, Dad. No, the outside lights, you fucking idiot. And that's not, he doesn't cuss.
Also, cooking the books, isn't that like a bad thing?
Yeah, I think he's joking with his dad. Like, what are you doing? I'm just embezzling like I always do on Saturdays. Duh.
And he does the thing that you hate, where the husband calls his wife mom.
Oh, mother, get out of here. I mean, this is what it stems from, though.
Yeah, it does.
This is that old world America that I mostly hate, but there are certain things I love, female style being one of them.
Yeah.
I want to mention him not only because he made me go ooh ooh, but because that was one of my first really genuine laughs is when
Guy
comes into work and he's talking to him and he mentions Telemart or whatever
Yeah,
the
which
bad guys are.
this is not in the original.
Oh, okay. So the
eye
scene
twitch?
wasn't?
The eye twitch.
Okay, because he mentions it and he's just sitting there and his eye is just doing this and it's a very slight. It's like I can't do it without closing my lid. He's doing just the cheek twitch, like he's about to pop a fucking vein in his head, and I just laughed my balls off.
Yeah, and the sister, it's like, don't you mention that? You shut up. No, you shut up. You come over here and make me fathead. It's a good interaction.
We don't get a lot from her. We get a lot of facial.
We really don't, and I don't know. She's fine. I have no complaints about her. I just don't think there's enough for me to even know her character name.
I think she marries Ribisi.
You think so? You think so? Ribisi does work his way into this family
Yes,
in
he
a good
does.
way.
I mean, I was surprised by the family because they all pretty much hate Guy at the beginning of the movie, and when he starts getting like popular and their music starts getting on the Billboard charts and stuff, they're actually full on supportive.
Yeah.
I think the mom was supportive when the radio scene happens.
Yes.
She's pretty happy. The dad is worried about this Telemart or whatever this big super Walmart is. And that is in the movie.
Barbecue grill for $7.95. What are you, a hardware store?
They have everything. It's hard to tell.
Also, $7.95.
No, it's probably one of those little fucking beach
Hibachis.
hibachis.
Still, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that's the opening that I read is from him reading the newspaper. He's just so old school America. Like I don't believe I want to be open on Sunday to do business if I have to stay open on Sunday. The wife grabs the paper like, let's just put this away. We're done with this right now.
This is nothing to us.
And so this new band practice, the band practice that we have now with Guy has a lot of added shit. This is normally a very quick scene,
Okay.
but it's sowing seeds of dissent between Jimmy and Guy on the pace.
Yeah.
Because you hear in this one, he's like, how about this? And he's like, too fast. How about this? Still too fast.
Too fast.
And you can see Guy's face like, what the fuck, dude? And even Steve Zahn's like, calm down. It's not a polka. He's just such a
it's too
shithead this
fast,
whole
Guy.
time, but in a great way.
And then he does like the slowest beat I think I have ever fucking heard.
Because Jimmy wrote a ballad because Jimmy thinks he's a fucking genius and
Yep.
he's very emotional. He's better than all you.
I mean, he did get 3 gold records or whatever.
Sure. Just because you're a genius doesn't mean you're not an asshole. Most geniuses are assholes. But then we cut to the talent show, as we said, with just bad music for the most part. Maybe you grab this actor's name, the male adoring fan,
Sean Whalen.
Sean Whalen, who's been
Welcome
on the
back
show
to the
before.
show.
Yeah, welcome
Our
back.
second welcome back so far because
Yeah.
Ethan Embry was in Dutch.
Yes, he was.
Sorry, Ethan Randall.
Yeah, Ethan Embry has not been on this podcast yet.
But Sean Whalen playing this heckler guy who ends up being their fan.
He's such a doofus.
He
man.
was in Tammy and the T-Rex.
Uh-huh.
And he's in other movies that we will do eventually. Maybe good, maybe not.
Maybe
we'll see
jury
where
duty.
we're going.
I know, where
But
he's
people
like,
under the
You're
stairs.
drowning in the river. You're drowning in it.
He sees him. He's like, God, I just saw him in something. I was like, jury duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, jury duty, people under the stairs.
That's the biggest thing I know him from.
Twister.
That was, I think that was the first thing that I was like, that's the dude with the thing in the jury
Yeah,
duty.
yeah.
You can't see my pantomimes. The
thing that she
taser on
means
the
is-
neck.
Thank you. So Guy starts counting off, and he is just like, we're doing it my way. And Jimmy's like, it's too fast. And Steve gets right on board.
He's like, fuck
And
yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is rocking. You know, and he catches up, and all of a sudden, everybody's jamming to this.
Do you see the fucking pony going on in the swimming? All those 60 dances.
I love 'em.
I do too.
Oh, there is.
My mama taught me to mash potato.
Is it before or after they perform when the MC?
Just before.
Okay.
Oh,
He's like,
eat my shorts.
Yeah, Sean Whalen's just talking shit to him. He's like, eat my shorts, Ken.
He covers the microphone. He's like, "Oh, fucking kick your ass, you little shit! I'll fuck you up." And then he looks at him. He's like, "Uh oh, I think he's gonna snap."
I liked that little riff because you don't know what's going on. It just makes you think, oh, they hate each other.
Well, now we know that you as the fan are pretty much an asshole for everybody except this fantastic band.
Yes.
And I did call it right before they played. I was like, guy's gonna play faster, isn't he?
Well, he's all hopped up and excited, and he's like, "Yeah, let's get this show." But we didn't go on to this. He's a jazz drummer.
Yeah.
Yes.
This whole time he's dressed like a beatnik too.
Yeah.
I mean, he
The
talks
lone
about.
beatnik in Erie, they say.
Oh, they do say that.
Maybe it's only in the extended one, but I think Steve Zahn says it when he walks into the diner.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the lone beatnik in
That
Erie.
would probably be in the original.
Okay.
But yeah, he talked about jazz like he wants to fuck it.
Yeah.
And he
Del
probably-
Paxton?
Del-
Del fucking Paxton?
Say it again.
Del Paxton.
Oh, mama.
I have a note right here this early in the
Rita.
movie because I was waiting for this to happen, forgetting it was a Tom Hanks written and directed movie. Clearly, Guy and Liv Tyler are gonna fuck. It's written right here.
And as I said, they do a wonderful job of not making it.
It's a
yes,
friendship
it's transparent, but it's not like as skeezy. Like, oh, I'm gonna get my friend's
No,
girl.
they have a long time relationship and they love each other, but she's with Jimmy.
Yeah,
He's
they went
with
to high
Tina,
school
so-
together. They had classes together. They were friends.
I mean, it's happened before. You mistake a beautiful friend. You mistake love for a beautiful friendship, or vice versa. It
Yeah.
happens.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus shark? Cocaine shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
Yo, I am in the mood for like a really juicy IPA, and I don't see any in the fridge.
Yeah, I think I'm all out, but I do know a place we can go get some more.
Let's go to the Arizona Beer House.
Arizona Beer House. They have 34 taps. There's like almost 800 cans and bottles that you can drink in-house or take to go. And it's conveniently located at Broadway and Kolb, 150 South Kolb in Tucson, Arizona.
I'll tell you what, I'd tap that.
Let's head down to Arizona Beer House right now.
Let's go. I'll drive.
First pint's on me, guys.
All right.
There is a scene that is not in the original of, I think we're about to get to it,
I think so.
of the beautiful, God, I'm blanking on her name
Charlize
now.
Theron.
Thank you. I could just see her face, and I got distracted by it.
You mean Charlize Theron from The Italian Job?
Yes, I mean Charlize
With
Theron.
Sir Marcus Marcus?
So, bro, she was such a great actress.
Charlize Theron from Devil's Advocate.
Oh, she's from a lot of things. I just knew
Charlize
if I
Theron
said-
from Reindeer Games.
Charlize Theron from Monster.
Okay, I was like, what are
Charlize
you guys
Theron
doing
from
to Charlize Theron over
Astronaut.
But so they're making out, and on the background is the movie Spartacus, and she's
The one
like-
with Kirk Douglas. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, say it. And he's, I am Spartacus.
And she
I
gets
bring that
so
up
wet.
because that's not in the original cut. We just get him and her playfully saying it, him, mostly to her, and it's supposed to just make sense to us. But now we're like, oh, it's because it makes her wet. Sorry, makes her wet.
Moist.
Makes her moister. I'm not going to be gross.
Yeah, she has to change those dancing shoes. Is all
Yes,
I'm
she
saying.
does.
Ow!
Can we watch the change of shoes?
I would. You know I would.
But there's the point where Sean Whalen comes up to them. He's like, "Hey, man, where can I get the record?" And Filipino, whatever the guy who owns the restaurant's name is, drags him out. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here. We're closed." And that's when Steve Zahn is like, "Wasn't that our fan?"
Well, because so now they're getting a gig at Villapiano's Italian place, and they're playing some songs.
By an airport.
But you hear this guy, the fan, in the back, like, "When are you going to play the thing you do? We're here to meet chicks and dance, and we can't meet chicks unless we dance."
And then they start playing it, and he's like, "I think they're playing it." I'm like, "Yeah, you just yelled that."
Yeah, has our fame preceded
This
us?
isn't Leonard Skinner where you just keep yelling Freebird and you know they're going to play it last. Like, these guys are nobody. They have
Yeah.
2 songs.
Yeah. But they got a standing gig at Villapiano's. There's a bunch of shit.
100 Nights at Play.
There's a bunch of shit that happens in here that doesn't happen in the original.
The
riot.
fire extinguishers.
The fire extinguisher that leads into a riot, which has Liv Tyler on top of this fucking bench,
Geeking the fuck out.
giddy about these dudes whooping each other's ass.
Yeah, I even had a whole thing.
She's hot for it.
I even had a joke because they're fighting and there's a whole ass hamburger patty on some dude's back, and I was like, "Can I get a burger? Hold the big dude."
Waiter, there's a guy in my burger. I did love.
I'll take guy in my burger.
Jimmy storms off. He's like, "It's a fucking riot. We're out of here."
He's a little bitch.
And what does
Jimmy.
Steve Zahn say? What did I say? I think I said Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I said I hate Jimmy.
Oh yeah, you should. You should absolutely.
He's like, "Get the records. Get the fuck out."
And
Come on,
so
Faye.
Steve Zahn is the one. He's like, no, they just want an encore.
He's like,
this is almost Blues Brothers, where they play rawhide at that country western bar. Because there are people just like fighting. Guy's face and Steve Zahn's face are priceless in this part.
And then
dude.
Embry is just trying to jam with him.
I'm just a bass player. I do whatever the fuck I can, dude.
I follow the drummer.
I'm trying to stay relevant.
This was the first mosh pit.
Sid Vicious, a little kid, like, oh, it's pretty fucking awesome over there. Yeah.
I do like this is probably an extended thing too, but they had their first groupie, the girl Chrissy.
She's in the movie.
She's OG.
She's hitting on a guy, and Steve Zahn walks up. He's like, "Hey, your girlfriend's here," so he goes over to talk to Charlize
I'll take
Theron.
care of this.
And he's like, "Hey, yeah, no, they're happy. They're happy together. I'm single." And she's like, "Yeah, what about the bass player?"
Hi, my name is Consolation Prize.
But it does lead to another good joke from Guy's dad, because he's like, "Hey, maybe next time you guys should play Jailhouse Rock."
Yeah. The dad ribbing on him added.
So funny, though.
I thought so. I didn't seem familiar to me.
The dad is not a funny guy in
No.
the entire original cut.
No,
I mean, but this
you
is
kind
how
of
that
hate his
this is-
dad in the beginning, from
This is
what
how
I
this
remember.
kind of dad would be, though. He's like, yeah, he's grumpy and shit because his business is failing because of fucking Walmart opening across the street or whatever. But like,
Kmart sucks.
but he would be giving his son shit because he's just like, "Oh, you can be a big rock star, yeah. How about you play Working on the Chain Gang next time?"
True. And you know what, though? Because he did take off work to do these gigs.
Exactly.
So he's probably like, oh, I played Jailhouse Rock, you little punker.
I hear he was reading the report. He's like, 2 of their windows were broken, fire extinguishers were stolen, benches were broken.
I have
Why
one
don't you go start
question
a
for you.
mosh
I have
pit?
one question for you, Junior. What'd you do with those 2 fire extinguishers?
I like the actor, and I'm not mad at any of the extended
not.
cut.
And we have another welcome back coming up right here.
We get the he's playing Gus.
Phil Horace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Gus is later in the movie. That's another guy who's not a welcome back, but I love seeing him anyway.
Yeah.
He spotted him, and I was like, all I saw was
I
Biff.
saw him in the crowd. Like, he wasn't even, before he even started talking on the show, like in the green room area. I saw, but we'll get there. But this is Chris Ellis playing Phil Horace.
How do you know this guy? Because I have a couple, but nothing major.
We've had him on the
Major?
show before. He was in The Island. He was in Godzilla 98.
Okay.
He always plays like a military guy, usually.
I know
He's in
Major.
Armageddon.
I know him from Armageddon and Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Maybe not military, but still playing that Houston, we have a problem role kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's in another movie that I keep mentioning to her because we watched it together, but she forgets everything we watched together.
Yeah.
Called The Guest. That's a really good movie.
Don't know it.
It has. You should watch it. I might have it over there.
Of course you might. I had to change up your catchphrase.
Ethan Embry's also in The Guest.
Okay.
Just throw it in there. But it's a really good movie. But yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, hey, I know that guy's name now. I don't have to look it up every time because we've covered him twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good feeling for a podcaster, man. Yeah, so it's Horace.
Yeah.
And I like his little pantomime. Like, can I talk to you outside for a minute? He's not saying anything. He's like hand gesturing. And guy's like, what the fuck?
He's like,
he
"Me?"
rolls up in like it's probably a new truck at the time, but it's a 63 Chevy with a beautiful camper shell on it. I want everything to do with it. But he's like, step into my office.
Because we don't know exactly what
He's
year this
a
takes
little-
place, right?
No.
65.
Well, we
It
don't
says
know
it
for
at the end
we
in
don't
the
know
credits.
for sure. We know that her last time she was kissed good was 61, and that was like high school.
And then during
Right, but in the
the
and
credits
then they
where
get
like
married in 65.
oh,
It doesn't say it is, but so we're
But
between
yes,
61 and 65.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're in 63 right now. If that's a 63,
And then this movie ends at 64. They get married in 65.
Yes.
I will accept
He's
that
got a
timeline.
brand new 63 pickup truck with a fucking 25-year-old trailer on the back.
honestly, it's probably a brand new trailer. It just they couldn't find a
I'm
better
with,
one.
I'm with your husband's noise.
it
They-
looks pretty weathered.
I know
Yeah.
it looks weathered, but
This is what these kinds of guys do. Because if you remember, he loves fishing. That's all he does. He goes and gets your shit on the radio, gets his money for bird dogging, as it were, and he goes fishing. So this camper has come off the last 3 trucks.
they probably couldn't find one that wasn't weathered.
I mean, I think it goes with his character.
Probably his character.
But so we get all these boys now in this fucking camper, and he's telling a story about a band is like stew, and all I thought of is, well, I want stew.
Yeah, me too.
Same. I was like, I'd eat that stew.
I want camp shell stew.
That looks like Dinty Moore, and I'm okay with it.
Those lentils instead of beans, you are single.
This is the one time, though, I agree with Jimmy in this entire movie, because stew sounded good. But when he puts that bowl of stew in front of Jimmy and Jimmy just kind of slowly pushes it away, I was like, yeah, I don't know about random dude camper stew.
But then to not agree with Jimmy for the rest of the movie, he's like, I don't know. I don't want to sign anything for my music. I think he's taking us. He hasn't asked for anything from you.
Yeah.
No,
you have,
nothing.
and he even says, I'll get your song on the radio in 10 days. If not, we rip up this contract and you forget you ever met me.
And then Tom Hanks later, I kept waiting for it to be like, we're getting screwed, guys, but it doesn't really happen.
He asked me,
Tom Hanks is an asshole executive, but not.
It
But
gets
he's
uncomfortable. But at the end he is. But he's not an asshole. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And yes, to Derrick's point, first watching this, you'd be like, oh no, what's going to happen? They're going to own your songs.
He asked
They're going
me.
to own you.
He's like, is he going to be like how he was in Elvis?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, that's what he kind of was like Dr. Nick and Elvis, which I'll get there.
What's that guy's name?
Colonel.
The Colonel?
Something.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was the captain, the colonel. The captain is
Bleep's
Kyle
wife is going to be
MacLachlan
listening to this screaming at the fucking radio.
Yeah.
She knows everybody involved in that life.
But I do like, he's like, I'll get you guys to play in Schenectady or wherever the fuck place
I don't know.
That's in New York.
I don't know fucking
but he says
Pennsylvania
Pittsburgh.
names.
He says Pittsburgh, and fucking Ethan Embry's like, Pittsburgh!
It'd be like your husband getting excited about someone saying Phoenix. We're going to play Phoenix? So some things happen that are not in the extended, that are only in the extended, with them questioning the record guy, Horace. Other than that, what we get to next is my favorite fucking scene. This is my pick-me-up. First, we get Liv Tyler licking stamps like she's never mailed a letter.
Yeah.
Did you
She's
notice
putting the whole thing in her mouth?
She put, which I'm disgusted, and
And
also
there's
I
two.
wish I was a stamp.
And they're two stamps.
Like she is just.
You know who else wishes they were a stamp? Steven Tyler.
I was gonna say her dad.
Because she was in 2 of his music videos.
Oh, I know,
And
with
one
Alicia
of them she played
Silverstone.
schoolgirl. Just putting that out there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I got a story about what Aerosmith did that might curl your toes in a bad way.
Love in an elevator?
Did you know it's illegal to take a minor across state lines if you're not the guardian?
Yes.
So the band adopted girls that were 16 and 17 to have them go with them across the road that they could sleep with.
Well, I'm sure they're not the only ones.
No, they're not.
I'm not excusing
Led
it.
Zeppelin did it too.
I think every famous band in that era probably
Yeah.
did. Because that was
but the
thing.
good news is we
I'm
live
not
in
saying it's good.
2024, so we can
You
put
know,
shit on blast.
It was that thing you did back then. So
Oh, he is the worst people.
But no, the way she's just listening to this radio, because, Guy buys everybody radio. He's like, you know what? Let's all listen to different stations. Gives everybody a new radio. But Steve Zahn wanted a BB gun.
I asked for a BB gun, and I was a good boy. Added scene. I don't mind any added scene that has Steve Zahn telling a joke, dude.
No, I'm here for it.
It's not that this movie's not funny already, but he is just he's the best at being a fool.
Yes, he is. And I texted you halfway through, and I'm like, I fucking love him. I fucking love him.
So this is the scene now, because all of a sudden in her transistor radio starts coming on that thing you do,
She's just like,
and Derrick's having an awful time listening to it, I'm sure.
I liked it, and especially at this point. This is only the second time we've heard it.
Gotcha.
Or second.
Fourth.
That's right, because they recorded it.
But they
too,
do a
so.
good job of not playing the whole thing.
yeah, they're only doing
Yeah.
snippets.
I understand it gets too much.
Especially in the 900-minute cut.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But all of a sudden she
a good song.
gets that excited. She does like the arms out, chirpy, squealy,
And
she starts
runs.
booking it down the road. I mean, she's Forrest Gump running out full, and she
then
grabs
runs
Embry first.
Embry first.
And starts screaming. They're turning on theirs. I mean, they're collecting people.
They
get
run
to
into
guys'
thing.
She didn't tell him the station, but he knew.
Yeah.
No, I think she takes it and turns
Oh,
it.
okay. I was like, she's like, we're on the radio, and he's just like, pfft,
I mean,
we
this town's
are.
got to have like 2
It's fine.
stations.
It's nothing. I just
They had 4.
They had 4. One of them plays jizz.
and one of them's a talk radio where there's just some guy yelling about how the deep state. No,
Ross?
they didn't have the deep state.
Not there yet. Not there yet.
But they did have somebody on the radio yelling about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, the invention of radio brought those people out.
And then
They go to
Steve-
guys, and then Jimmy and Lenny.
Jimmy and Lenny
come pop out of the
stop
car.
in the middle of the road.
It's the 60s. You could do that, right? I mean, nobody cares. Everyone just politely moves around your
They We didn't want to double park, so we just parked in the middle of the road.
Right. We didn't want to block somebody in.
this scene in this the radio playing in the
appliance store.
Appliance store. Thank you. And then I think this is a little bit of improv because Steve Zahn goes to kiss the sister, or at least like embrace her, and then she doesn't want to, so he looks over at the cardboard cutout and just grabs it violently and plants one. Her reaction is one of like a little startled and then try not to laugh.
And like almost a little jealousy.
That's just the actress. That's just the actress bleeding through.
But no, it was fantastic. And then he's dancing around with her.
Yeah, it was
the cutout.
It's this is my scene.
Yes.
100%.
And I got giddy.
I could pop this on. It gives me chills watching it. And I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm happy now.
I feel like they could not have. I was trying to think through the whole movie who could play Liv Tyler's character. I think she is the perfect face for this era.
She's doe-eyed.
Yeah.
She's almost like a stupid, sexy baby.
Everything she says sounds like she's trying to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Like she's like bologna sandwich.
Even that speech at the end that she gives Jimmy, it's like, you still sound sexy.
Yeah.
I'd take her back.
Did she give me a bologna sandwich with lettuce, which is, I mean, I'm okay with bologna because
I'd give her a bologna sandwich.
But
a below.
But why are you putting lettuce on a bologna sandwich? It's
because you need your vegetables.
Look, you're eating trash. What's the point?
Trash with fiber.
That's what the bread's for. But then they get to go play their concert at the Orpheum. I feel like every state has an Orpheum, right?
Yeah.
Because we've got one in Arizona, too, up in Flagstaff. So.
Lawrence Fishburne played him. It's Orpheus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's Morpheus.
Morpheus.
It's more Orpheus.
More Orpheus.
How many seats are in the stadium?
2,203, and I have to clean every one of them.
So don't spill.
This is added. We just see them pop into the oh, God damn it, what's it called? The green room, as it were. Backstage.
I have seen this guy play before, and I can't remember what I want to say. Like not news radio.
He's in Jerry Maguire.
Yes. And he's got like the big blue eyes and his shaved head, and he's
balding.
Kind of neurotic and like.
Does he actually show Tom Hanks the money?
He does not, because he doesn't have any. Tom Hanks shows him the money.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, "Hey, try being like me, kid."
That's Jerry Maguire. That's another one I've never seen.
You've never seen Jerry Maguire?
I was just gonna say I'm not gonna get upset at you for that because he quoted it, and that's enough.
Don't generally like Tom Cruise. So
if I say show me the money, you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly, yeah.
You have enough of it.
Because I live in America or the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got Cuba Gooding Jr. as like a football man.
Renee Zellweger
one of his
just got
best
done
movies.
sucking on a lemon.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, she always does.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a human brain weighs?
8 pounds.
69 pounds.
That's where you get that little shit kid.
I know you lose 21
Johnathan
grams when you
Lipnicki.
die.
Yeah.
The fucking
I almost
zoo
said
is
shit,
fucking
Nikki.
closed. You just said fuck. It's worth one watch for most people. I think Derrick would come out of it going, well, I know I watch bad movies for my life, but I just wasted it.
You get to see Tom Cruise lose his fucking shit. Oh, I guess you saw it when he was on TV.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw that on Oprah.
So something I noticed.
Not that I watch Oprah either.
You watched the clip. Yeah. Something I noticed for the first time ever in this, because now you get Kevin Pollak playing Vic Boss the Cost or Cost the Boss, whatever.
Something like that.
Did you recognize his assistant? You probably wouldn't.
No.
That's Cheyenne from Renegade.
Oh.
That's Lorenzo Lamas'
her.
wife, and this is like right about, so this is 96. She might just be divorced from Lorenzo Lamas and left the show.
Did she leave the show or get kicked off because Lorenzo Lamas was like, you know what's weird?
Same thing.
We got divorced and your character died.
It's the strangest thing. She fell off a cliff, got mutilated, eaten by tigers, pissed on by a skunk,
How's
washed
that?
down river and alligators.
How's that girlfriend of yours? Oh, she fell off a cliff, died on impact.
Exactly. But yeah, I never noticed her, but she's the one that's like, I'm the secretary for an asshole.
Right?
Oh, I did have that line written down because it made me laugh. She's like, I'm the drummer for the Wonders. I'm the secretary for the asshole. But I didn't recognize her.
I mean, this is the first time I've recognized her in this.
Also, secretary, she's giving him back rubs and shit. I guess that is the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the 60s. Like, she's the secretary with an asshole.
Yep.
You
100%.
gonna use it.
He smacks her ass when they walk into the thing, into the room.
Something I hate in movies, like biopics and whatnot, music movies and such, bad performances. I understand you have to have them, but just as a recovering band member, it makes me like cringe. I'm just like, oh my God, because the mics aren't on. when they are on, there's feedback like a motherfucker. Guys, hi-hat falls. It's just like, God damn, dude.
Well, and like the
It's just
feedback,
trash.
everybody laughs at them, and it's like, well, that's clearly not their fault because they were even saying like the mics aren't on.
Yeah.
The people in the audience don't give a shit.
Who the
but
fuck
then
am I paying to not do their job?
when he knocks his drums over or his hi-hat over at least and shit, it's like,
Who set him up though? Who set up the drums?
Yeah.
But either way, it goes super poor. And we got Horace talking to Guy, and he's like, I got you, I want you to meet somebody. You know what you need? You need cuisine of the Far East. And so he takes him to a Chinese
never
restaurant.
get to eat.
I know. I hate this. It's a trope I hate in movies. You're
No.
in a fucking restaurant.
The one you hate is where there's all the food on the table and nobody fucking eats.
No, but
I hate
That
a lot
one
of
pisses
things.
me off.
But yeah, that one. See Pee-wee's Big Adventure. When he has that beautiful breakfast, he doesn't even fucking touch it.
And this one's almost worse because they keep going into restaurants and nobody ever gets any goddamn food.
Uh-huh.
They do pay a check.
Maybe
on that
we're
first
just like
one.
fat kids on the inside, and we just want to see people eat.
Look, I want fucking Tom Hanks slurping up lo mein, being like, "So you guys want a record deal?"
I mean, we do see him eating on the beach movie scene. He's the only
We do.
person eating. I think that was a candid shot. But yeah, we meet Tom Hanks himself, Mr. White.
God, and he is looking mighty fine.
He's looking great.
Sorry.
He doesn't do it for Derrick.
Does it for me.
But yeah, he offers him a contract, and I got to appreciate Guy. He's like, no, Horace is our guy. He's
Yeah.
like, well, if you want Horace to be your guy, no
Guess
hard
I'm outta
feelings,
here.
man. Like, I'll go back.
Yeah, keep
That's
playing
it.
Pittsburgh. Peace.
And it's great that he wants to sign him even after this terrible performance.
Because he heard the record.
Exactly.
Which is a great
He's
recording.
like, we can fix this.
Yeah, well, you get Chris Isaac to produce your stuff. It's probably going to sound good. He's a professional.
But he says, he does say, I can't say anything. I need to talk to my band first.
Yeah.
And
Told
Horace is
you.
like, he's the smart one.
He's the smart one.
I do like, and I'm sure it's extended cut because you said that the dad's doesn't have much going on personality wise in the original.
Not in a bad way. He's just very restrained, I guess we'll call that.
But when he tells his dad like they're going on the road with this thing because they do sign the contracts, his dad turns to the sister, and I do have her name here because the quote, it's like, Darlene, you just got promoted. She's like, wait, you're gonna pay me?
I didn't say that.
Fuck no.
Women don't.
I am
get-
gonna pay you. You still live in my house.
Women
Yeah.
don't get paid
not
for
a,
their
not
jobs.
a bad point. Yeah, first of all, you're a woman. It's the 60s. And second of all, you live in my house. Go get married.
Yep.
Pop me out some grandkids.
So, because it's pretty much over already, we have Charlize Theron real quick. She's playing golf or doing the driving range right after this stuff.
Oh my God, did you notice
with
what
the
club she's
dentist.
using?
No.
She's using a pitching wedge.
Okay. Well, I mean, but that would be a way for a guy to be like, let me show you. Because you can't get behind somebody driving and teach you. You can't do
That's
that
what Derrick
sexy
That's
move.
what I told her. I was like, you saw those swings. You didn't want to give her the heavy one.
Yeah.
But all I had written down was Charlize Theron is banging that dentist's balls.
Oh, yeah. She's smacking them balls all over that green.
I also had one earlier about when she first went to him and she was like enthralled, like she's drooling when he walked out. And it was like, I said, could you please get inside my mouth? So we'll just, that's pretty much it for them. Though.
I do love, I'm breezing over a lot of her stuff
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because it's.
She's in and out.
I just had
Well,
those
but
two jokes that made me laugh.
Oh, I'm gonna bring one. I'm gonna bring one up. It's not a joke. It's her performance when this Dr. McDreamy, and I know it's somebody else, but
I
this
get
guy's
it.
way better
Yeah.
looking. When he walks in, it's like, "Are you Tina?" And she just stares at him with those puppy dog eyes. And he looks at the sheet because she's not saying anything. He's like, "Tina?" She goes, "Tina, yes, that's me." It's just, I mean, take her breath away.
Apparently, she was the first person to read for her role and also the first person to be cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, she is. We talked about it earlier, but it doesn't. We can say it again. She's stunning.
She is stunning.
This style is working for
Seeing
her.
the size of her role, I was like, well, of course she's one of the first people to be cast. She's in fucking 8.5 seconds of this
Yeah.
movie. Like
It's less.
she
It's
could have
less than the original.
she could have, finished that bull ride. That's about it. That's 8.5 seconds, right?
I'd watch that. Yeah, that's the reason. I mean, all we're doing is having it show her growing away. And she's not the worst girlfriend at first until she meets the dentist because she goes to the talent show. That's
but
a
she is
good
a
girlfriend
bitch,
move.
at least
She-
in this version. She's
Okay, what did you think as a woman? And you can definitely respond as a male, Derrick. I'll allow it. When she's talking to Guy and she's like, Jimmy's got some gal pal and Faye. It sounds catty. But then she goes, they make a cute couple, don't they?
She's
Is she
just
being
trying to
shitty?
feel him out. She is being shitty.
She's fishing.
100%. She is fishing.
I got you. What do you think about Faye?
Yeah.
God.
And then he just keeps talking about the band and how
when they met at the show, she's like, "Oh, I'm Faye. I'm Jimmy's girlfriend," and Charlize Theron is basically just like, "Hi, I'm gonna walk away now."
Here's a kind of crappy boyfriend moment from Guy. Like, your girlfriend is engaging with you, and he's like, "I think we got real talent. That song is snappy."
Well, maybe he just hears the fishing and he's like, "Quiet, I'm talking about happy things."
I'm going to change the subject real quick instead of getting in a fight. I'm not going to tell you if you look fat or not. Not saying it.
No, I think, yeah, she's definitely being a bitch. I mean, she just is that character it's not about me, then this isn't cool.
I got to figure out what this note means before we get to it.
I need to hear it.
Want to see my deck?
Oh, Steve Zahn is playing Goldfish.
Oh, that's right. He's playing poker. That's right. He's playing poker with some, like, I mean,
because when they go on tour, right?
Yeah.
They start getting buddy with all the bands. I just have one at the very beginning. They're starstruck meeting, like, well, he's trying. Ethan Embry's trying to peep on the Chantrellines, but they meet Diane Dane.
Diane Dane, you had my first boy girl thing with you on the cover of the. I jacked off to you.
Yeah, like, good to meet you. You're the first time I jerked off.
That's awesome. That's actually where I'm at right now, is the Playtone tour, and yeah, he's playing poker, and he's just like, I'm a real serious poker player. Want to see my deck? Like, flashes it real quick. He's like, ooh, you gotta be fast. I'm from Pittsburgh, motherfucker.
I'm from PA, bitch.
This tour montage is much longer, and I do like it.
I loved it.
I'm
not upset
Again,
with
this
this
is why
extended
I just
edition.
need Derrick to see in a year from now. Mark it on our calendars. We're gonna watch this again.
Okay.
And we're gonna do the fucking hour 40, hour 35,
Well,
whatever.
that's the one I could have watched for free.
Yeah. You should have.
It's okay.
But I mean, I'm glad you watched it, because I know your wife enjoyed as I was watching it.
I very much appreciated it.
Like, as I was watching, I was like, oh, this is something Whitney's probably gonna love, has never seen.
Yep. There was
So-
not one scene that I was like, I hate this. No, it was.
I assumed when you texted us that you were watching the Tom Hanks extended cut, which I thought was just you saying that, but that's what it's called. I assumed that meant you were like, I've seen them both, and this is the better one. So I was like, well, that's what he's watching.
That was
watch
me.
that.
that's what you
that
get
was
for
me
assuming.
saying, I don't want our timings to fuck up. Like, I didn't want you guys to text me like, we're done. I'm like, I got 45 fucking minutes left.
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, when you told me that, because I had in my notes already 108 minutes, and then I found the extended cut, and I was like, there was an extra 40 minutes. What?
He's like, Jack hates me. He's
his
making me watch
reply
this
was-
3 hour long
longer than
movie.
the Transformers.
His reply was, oy vey. But hey.
Honestly, Transformers lasted longer than
Hey.
this.
Did it feel longer than Transformers?
No, it didn't feel longer. And we're talking about the one we just did last night. It didn't feel longer, but I'm pretty sure it was longer.
We didn't do it last night. We did the movie last night.
Yeah,
with a
the
K.
last night. Transformers, no colon, but subtitle, the last night.
That's pulling teeth. This
Yeah.
is watching Charlize Theron getting her teeth pulled.
Yeah, well, that's an 8-hour movie crammed into a 2 hour and 45-minute box or whatever, and this is an hour and a
can
half
cram
movie
that in my box.
stretched into a 2 hour and 45-minute box.
I did make a little joke, and I was like, because when she's in the dentist office, is like, oh, we're gonna take care of that number 15. I was like, he's gonna punch out that number 15.
Yeah, what we don't realize in the 60s dentistry was not up to snuff to today's. She has one of those things wrapped around her jaw and a little bow tie on top of her head because he sucker punched her.
Well, I love when she hears the song on the radio, and she's like, I know this song, and he's like, what? I didn't give you enough fucking shit. And he pulls out this huge needle, and she's just like, oh fuck.
Gives me anxiety. I fucking hate needles.
And this is one of them wicked ass needles.
It's the Novocaine needles.
so we get
it's
the press
still a
stuff.
24 gauge needle.
No, but it's like with
so
the glass
tiny.
and like I don't know. Like now we have like the little plastic things that have like, it doesn't look as bad at the end. This is like this big glass thing with a huge plunger.
Oh
on
yeah,
it
this
and
is a
shit.
60s hypodermic needle.
Yeah, this is-
metal handle on the outside and everything.
Yeah, this is the kind that was in that pit that the girl had to put her arms in and saw too.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So during all like the press stuff, we're starting to realize like nobody cares about you. And the band is starting to realize that. People asking questions, put a microphone in front of your face. Like, tell us about writing the song. I wrote it in my garage. And I'm sure you're seeing a nice time out here.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
and when they're on that one radio show, and he's like, "I've got guests in the studio with me," and they're like, "Hi,
Say hi, boys. Hi.
He's
And
like,
plays
"Get
the
the
song.
fuck out of here now."
I do love that when they're doing the state fairs and the guy is interviewing him And he was like, and he gets to Steve Zahn's character, Lenny, and Lenny's like, oh no, I'm not with the band. I'm here because I'm getting the #1 pin. I'm getting that blue ribbon for the pig.
I'm gonna raise me a nice little pig.
Yeah.
A hog, show it in the band.
And if I don't win for the pig, I'm winning for a shit.
Oh, you got anybody to clean that shit up at the end? I sure could use it. The crop is a bit low this year.
And you know what?
Welcome back, farmer.
Oh, thanks for having me. I like these boys. Play good songs.
This was added in the extended cut I read, and I'm okay with it because Ethan Embry got some from that smoking hot girl in the Schaech.
Yeah.
But the way it happens is beautiful, too,
It
because
is.
we see him earlier, like you had said, trying to sneak a peek. Then in the montage, you have Liv Tyler walking him up to
Classily
the bus like,
introducing.
this is how you meet girls. You don't peek at them sleeping. You say hi with your voice and your hand.
Also, and it's another part of the bass player doesn't matter thing. Throughout this whole thing, every time they're about to go out, Tom Hanks always has some snippy comment
You got your
for
pick?
Ethan Embry.
Uh-huh.
Like the first one, he's like, got your pick? And later on, he's
Right
like,
here.
you got those fucking melodies down? Or whatever he says. It's like the harmonies. It's like, come on, man. Get your shit together, bass player.
Yeah, be somebody.
How did he sign his contract? Bass player.
Ooh. Damn, yeah. Maybe he just didn't sign it. We don't need you to really sign.
All the other three guys signed contracts. Faye signed a contract.
Yeah. I don't know how.
But they're in this montage.
She's your
they
wardrobe mistress.
In this,
What a great name.
In this montage, they get on the Billboard charts, which is exciting. Number
I love me
93,
some montages.
and they get all the way up to number 7.
Number
which is
7
pretty
in the
exciting
country.
stuff. And he says it's the fastest in Playtone history, but we don't really know how long this tour is.
Right.
But
Before they get to number 7, I do have to point out during the montage, he is knocking on the bass player's door, and you know, Ethan Embry's putting on a shirt and opens the door, and Guy is like showing him the magazine.
He's got the paper in front of his face where he can't see what's happening just beyond it.
Exactly. And then he like drops it down so the bass player can read, and he looks, and who's laying in the bed?
One of the
Chantraline or
One
Yeah.
of the
Chantrelles.
Chantrelines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
keep saying chanterelle because of the mushrooms.
And I do love it because he goes to leave and he turns around and just gives him a real sly like handshake.
Well done, boyo.
I only say that because there's another interview they do when they're like, so who popped your cherry? Like music wise. And then Ethan Embry, that would be the Chanterelles.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, was he a virgin?
Probably.
Perfect.
And this is another point where I thought, okay, so it's not Faye and Guy that are going to do some shady shit. It's Tom Hanks.
Uh-huh.
Because Hanks sees their like chemistry,
Yep.
and you see him giving a look, and I was like, is he going to try to get Jimmy out of the band? But it's not that movie.
It's not. And he's keeping tabs, though. He's like, who's Faye? And kind of, well, that's, Faye's special, right? And, just keep dropping things.
Well, he knows Faye is important to Guy,
Yeah.
but not really Jimmy.
Yeah.
And that's
He reads the writing on the wall. He's like, Faye's important. Jimmy doesn't deserve her, but you're not going to do anything about it yet.
Yeah, and there's even some point during this where I think it's during this, it might be later, but one of the guys refers to them as Guy Patterson's Wonders instead of Jimmy's. So I think that's another thing where it's like he's watching because he's like, well, Guy is the important one.
And
she makes him happy, so as long as Guy is here and happy, the band is fine.
And Guy has been the important one, which I thought Jimmy was going to have more contention with.
Same.
During this montage, there's a part where Steve Zahn is leading a song. And I
Yes.
actually like the song.
So did
and
I.
all I'm thinking, as a guy who's been in a band I've been in a phenomenal band where we had no ego. And it's like, hey, you want to sing this part? Oh, you want to sing my part? And all right, we did not care.
I love that though.
Because we just want to play with each other. I've also been,
Did you hear it? You heard it, right?
also been with people in my life that are like, no, it's my fucking verse. I'm going to sing it, and we're not going to do the song that you wrote. Like,
hate
Bleep was
that.
in a band at one point where it got to the end of the band where the guy just kept cutting out all Bleep's parts.
What the fuck?
He's like, well, no, we're not going to do that for the set list. And yeah, that happens, and I think Jimmy would be one of those.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Jimmy would 100% be like, why are we doing that song? I don't sing that.
I feel like he would be, and that's why when that scene did show up, and I was like, how is he like happily playing and
It
singing
made
the song?
sense to me because of all the parallels with the Beatles.
Okay.
You got the two different guys that sing
Oh
songs.
yeah.
No, that's absolutely perfect. I just think character-wise, Jimmy would be like,
Well,
I
yeah,
wrote that.
but-
Why are you singing it?
Yeah, but since he wants to be the Beatles, even though he says he doesn't, or is it Steve Zahn that says?
Yeah.
because he's like, we're trying to be exactly like them, them or something like that.
Well, look at Jimmy's hair, though. He's got early Beatles. Not
Yeah, he
mop
does.
top, but he's got that early Beatles suit, Liverpool,
Yeah.
Just trying to get more songs on the album.
Another interview
I
that
wrote a
Steve
song about
Zahn
an octopus.
fucks around on is because they do the movie and Jimmy's throwing a fucking hissy fit.
Yeah.
About their who in the shrimp shack.
Oh, hold on. I've got it
Captain
here.
Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
I've got it here because apparently, and this is trivia, but you can probably Google these places. Tom Hanks named the band after 2 restaurants he went to a bunch when he was doing Forrest Gump.
Okay.
So they're
Okay.
Captain Geach's, but it's closed. And at the time of the person writing this,
Shrimp
the
Shack
Shrimp
Shooter.
Shack was still open.
Okay.
But they're places that he used to go all the time while he was making
So
Forrest
it's
Gump.
either right
So-
before this or right after. I had to decipher my notes again because it says Lenny is me as a kid. So they have a meeting on the plane. Faye's sick, and who's the one taking care of her?
Guy.
As soon as Guy mentions she's not feeling well, Jimmy's like, anyway, about my songs.
Yes.
But so Tom Hanks tells them all to go do something. He gives pills to fucking
Because
Guy.
then he turns and says, "So what's wrong with Faye?"
Yeah, but this
And
is
then
his
Jimmy's
Dr.
out.
Nick
He's like,
moment.
I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking
He's
talk
just like,
about
give her
this.
2 blues and a white and don't fuck that up. But so he's like, all right, I'm going to lay down and sleep for a while. And you got Zahn opening a mint. And he's like, Lenny, give me the paper. Give me the paper. And he does. And now here's me as a kid chomping a mint like a maniac in this dude's ear. I got flashes of my grandpa taking his shoes off and throwing them at me.
Why don't you go ask if you can see the cockpit? Tell him it's your birthday.
It's me as a kid again. Dude. Like,
There is
oh,
a-
boy, the cockpit.
There is a point, and I think it was during the
said
montage. It's definitely during the montage. I don't remember where. But at the beginning, Tom Hanks is telling them, like, when you're done, you bow and you get the fuck off the stage. They're like, what if they want an
Unplug.
encore? He's like, no, you unplug and get the fuck off.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the montage, they come out, and everybody's just fucking going wild because it's right before they hit number 7.
Uh-huh.
But they do their bow, and they just fucking pull the cords out and run
Right, in
off the
unison.
stage.
I mean, because this is them. They're tight now. They're like, we know what we're here for. You're here to you're here to hear
old
that
in, out,
one
in, out.
song, and then we are fucking gone. Even though Jimmy wants so much more. It's the Jimmy show.
It is the
Yeah.
Jimmy Show.
But you didn't pay your dues.
This is when Faye is sick because then they're going to California.
Oh, she says it too, right? He's like, we're winging it to the West Coast, California. Stupid, sick, sexy baby.
Oh, there's another thing with Jimmy and Faye because she gets held back by the cops because all these women are trying to rush them.
Oh, and
And
Jimmy
she's-
sees it.
Jimmy, and she's like, Jimmy, and he just ignores her, and Guy goes back and gets her, so.
Yeah, should have broken
He's
up with you
also
in
the one
Pittsburgh.
telling her, he's like, we're not a band without you. You were the one that named us. And she's like, no, it was you. He's like, no, I said some off the world thing that only you understood. And it was like a thunderbolt that hit you, or a lightning bolt.
I like Thunderbolts. We're talking about Thunderbolt Ross over here. So I mean, bring it on.
Oh, hey, speaking of the Thunderbolts.
So I want to say this because you cut me off. Both of you did.
I wasn't driving.
So rewind. When they're being interviewed, who popped your cherry, who's your band, and everything.
Yeah.
Steve Zahn says that.
Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
and
Tom
you
Hanks.
see Tom Hanks fucking giving him the face. Like, what the fuck is wrong?
I'm going to
with
give you another Steve Zahn line.
That was my favorite. Oh.
that we missed is when Tom Hanks is first taking over. He's like, we're going to get you suits, matching suits, because you're nice boys, except you. And he tosses him a set of sunglasses. And he's like, and the Wonders. We're dropping the O-N-E thing, and we're going with just the Wonders.
Yep.
Do you remember Steve Zahn?
He's like, oh, so formerly known as the Oneaters?
No.
As in,
I
I
wonder
wonder
what
what happened to the O'Neaters. You get it. Like, he's like, this guy's on board now.
Yeah.
And like in this part here is where they're doing the major motion picture. The guy playing the director, nobody else here knows, so I'm going to tell you anyway. Johnathan Demme, who directed Philadelphia.
Just kidding. I didn't know that.
So
I just wanted to give you a good gasp.
it's Tom Hanks bringing in a buddy.
Yeah.
All these people, by the way, like almost every person in the main cast and even like extended cast, they were all in like Apollo 13 or Tom Hanks like produced, wrote, and partially directed an HBO show, like a
Tell me it was Oz.
fake documentary, like not like a whatever, like a biopic kind of thing about like the Apollo mission and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Almost all these people were in other stuff that he did. So he's just like, yeah, you guys get it.
I can get you a paycheck. I can do you a solid. Yeah, I like the fake beach movie. All right, that's Goofball. Goofball, get up there and say your line. We're being invaded.
Now say it angry.
We're being invaded.
Now say it sexy.
We are being invaded.
Jump off the scene.
And I think this note pertains to this scene because it just says Jimmy sucks. My notes say that more than once.
I was
but think
going to
it's-
say, this is just every scene that they're in. Steve Zahn is having a great time. Ethan Embry's just there.
He's having a blast.
Guy is enjoying
He's
life.
loving
and Jimmy's
life.
a fucking wet piece of shit.
He's a goddamn tool.
You know what I thought of during this? Because this was a thing during this time. You had like your record that had like one song, or you had two songs, you had a B-side.
Yeah.
But you just play that one song over and over and over. That's how it worked during this time.
Yeah.
You did things like this where it was a whole record label. All I could think of was the bands that like now are like, we don't play that song anymore. I'm like, fuck you.
You had no choice in the 60s, though, like you're saying. Like, that's how you get fucking famous.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you become a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Which we hear that line at the end.
So
and then we meet.
I just wanted to bring up real quick, we get a Clint Howard sighting.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because it's during the interview where they're talking about when they pop their cherry musically. It's Clint Howard as
Captain
this
Geach.
jazz radio DJ. And I fucking love Clint Howard. He's
Del
the
Paxton,
goofiest
man.
looking.
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
think, I think you love Clint Howard more than Ron Howard.
Oh, fuck Ron Howard.
I
Clint
get more
Howard is
excited to
great.
see Clint Howard.
Yeah.
Clint
He
Howard.
got hit by every ugly branch, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
love
it
him.
makes him great. One of his first performances, like,
Star Trek?
The oldest thing I've seen him in, was Star Trek, the original series, and he plays a god creature, as most of their foils are in that show.
Yes.
And he is a little baby man because it's Clint Howard, and he's probably like 3 years old or something.
Still looks like him today.
But they have like a man's voice over him, obviously. But it looks like a little tiny bald Clint Howard with less wrinkles. It's fucking terrifying. He's great. Like he was in that. He's in Apollo 13.
Yep.
He's in The Wraith, which we will cover. Like,
He's
don't
in an
change
Adam
that dial
Sandler movie.
because that's made in Arizona.
Oh, yeah, he plays a racerhead, I want to say.
He did a pretty good bad movie called Ice Cream Man, which we will be talking about at some point. It's like a horror movie where he's surprised an ice cream man.
I mean, while he
we're murders people.
While we're here doing this, I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm about to. What do you think his numbers are on IMDb for actor?
273.
Oh, I think you're under.
470.
Yeah, okay. So what did you say, 200 something?
273.
I'll say 390.
While you're looking that up, I also just watched him in another movie with a very little baby. Well, not baby. I mean, he's late teen. Seth Green, called Ticks, which I think we're going to be doing this October.
Okay.
So don't change the dial for that. Where they go to a camp and there's ticks that are monster ticks and try to kill everybody. Clint Howard just plays like a crazy dude living in a shack by himself, getting eaten by tick, like the monster.
That's like
ticks.
the character that he's in the Adam Sandler movie. He's
Waterboy.
in Waterboy.
Yeah, basically, yeah, he lives in a shack by himself. But actually, I think in Ticks,
He's the best tackler since Joe Montana. I
think in Ticks,
Joe
all
Montana's
his-
a quarterback. I said Joe Montana.
I think all his scenes are shot by himself because I'm pretty sure they must have added him in. I watched that movie recently and I was like, I don't think that was originally in the movie.
You're not in the same movie.
They were like, Clint, get in that shack and be weird. And he's like,
So
And
final
wait, you mean my
answer,
house?
Be myself.
final answer is in, and it's as an actor where he's not playing himself. It is only 256. Wife wins.
Bitches.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
How do you not know how to
I got a beer in my hand.
So clap the
I don't want to spill it. I just
No,
opened it.
I don't ever take away the fact that Derrick smacks his own cheek to clap. Don't you ever golf slap? Golf slap.
I'll just double up your guys. It's fine.
Well, that's 4 people now. The math is off.
Yeah, well, you know what? When Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez did it, it sounded like a crowd.
That's
did.
I got to
The
get gloves.
gloves.
Yep. So yeah, we got now. I think we're at.
One more Steve's online.
God damn you.
During
No,
the interview.
don't
Kidding.
ever goddamn
Don't
Steve's
ever goddamn
online.
see that.
Jesus.
During the Clint Howard interview, he says something, and Steve Zahn is like, "Oh yeah, we get wild in Erie. One time, we stayed up way past midnight."
Dude, he does that like
Yeah, and fucking that's when Tom Hanks is just looking at him like,
Steve Zahn has that wheeze on demand. Like the Dom DeLuise is on the front of his throat. It's awesome.
Love
But
it.
yeah, because he's like, you guys ever get wild? And that's when Guy is like, oh man, listen to Del Paxton records. And one time we played Del Paxton at high school. And he's like, yeah, that's wild. It's like one time we stayed up way too late, dude.
I love it. I love me Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
I don't again, that's another one that could not I can't think of somebody who could play that part.
Yeah, I don't want to see anybody else try. I'm sure we can get other people to do it. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Leave it be.
Don't touch this.
okay, so you guys, I mean, we love Steve Zahn. Name something he's in that isn't Reality Bites or The Righteous Gemstones or Saving Silverman. Or
Out of
this.
sight.
Okay. Because I was like looking through his IMDb and I was like, I don't know any of
You know
this
what's a
shit.
trash movie that I enjoy with Jack's caveats is the it's him. It's a nature documentary, Wilderness. Something Wilderness.
Strange Wilderness.
Strange
Yes, I forgot
Wilderness.
about that one.
Love that one, dude. He's good in that.
He's not in a lot of stuff.
No, he's not, but he brings his alls to a role, I think.
He does.
Oh, with Jack's classic caveats?
Jack's classic caveats.
Speaking of Jack's classic caveats.
Ooh. What do we got,
On our
boy?
TeePublic store, we have a new shirt up. Jack's classic caveats. Go check it out.
I might just have to start keeping a list of the ones that I have.
Go to badmoviesworstpeople.com, click the merch link. You can get there. It's right there at the top.
Get it.
So now we are meeting the executive, Sully, from Playtone Records in his fucking pink suit, just being the... It's an added scene to the original, but him making a sandwich might be one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Oh my God,
It does look like a good sandwich.
It looks like a good
grosses me out.
sandwich. Do this at home, Derek. Do this after a bottle share, Derek.
Don't use those little plastic forks.
He breaks the fork because you can't use a plastic fork to make a
palm that
sandwich.
shit.
He starts palming meat. He's like, dip it in a little mustard. And like, sure, the sandwich looked bomb, but like, that's what you do when you're at home from the bar wearing no pants.
Yeah.
You don't do this in a pink suit.
I do love all the news reporters that are around. Every time he stops talking, they're like, but what about this controversial thing?
Didn't he punch you in the snooker? How much money did you lose in Atlantic City? What about your friends in the sheriff department? Like, what the fuck are you
And
up
he-
to?
and
He's like,
just
don't, the wife is upstairs.
And he's just brushing it all off like, yeah. Anyway.
Wait, did we miss them getting to the hotel?
Ooh,
Yes, that's right. I mean,
are
that's
we
when
getting
they're
Lamar?
The only reason I want to talk about it is Lamar, actor,
Oba Babatunde.
Baba, thank you.
Yes.
Oba Babatunde, who I
love
know
him.
from, oh, he's so fucking good. I
Who
know
you know
him
from
How High.
Is it
Love
me you're looking for? No. He looks a lot like Lionel Richie
He
mixed
does,
with Billy D.
100%.
Williams. Sorry.
Yeah. He is I have a running
Yeah, he's
theory
the dean in
that-
How High, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I have a running theory that he's an angel in this movie.
I think so.
The only reason I think that is the look to camera at the end, but he always just seems to know what's going on. He's like,
Well, it's
he's
his
an
hotel.
angel trying to earn his wings.
Yes.
This hotel is purgatory, right? Everybody here is dead.
Heard that.
And he's trying to, he gets Jimmy to hell. He gets Faye and Guy to heaven to be with each other. He's like Carry On, the boatman.
So I don't know how big of a part it is because I looked through because I was like, I know this guy. Like, I know him from Black Dynamite. I know him from How High.
Yeah.
He's in the Cherokee Kid. Isum Dart or Ism Dart.
I don't remember him from Cherokee
Okay,
Kid.
so maybe it's just a
but-
real small
but
part.
I've only seen it once.
And he's in Multiplicity.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, was he in that movie with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy?
Oh, Life. I
Life.
just watched it, and yeah, he absolutely
Okay.
is, and he's fantastic. He's in a lot. He's a good working actor. He's in the roommate recognized him from current show she watches called SWAT. Who could care?
Was it based on the same movie
Is that
slash
the
TV
SWAT
show?
with the
Sure is.
Allstate guy?
Which is based on the movie based on the TV
movie
show.
based on a TV show from the 60s?
No,
Dennis.
Haysbert. No, no. It has a very good looking, very large
you
toned
mean
black man. But
Pedro Serrano?
Oh, it's got that white guy with the shaved head. I can't remember his
yeah,
name.
that
either.
guy that plays all those military people, the white guy with a shaved head.
Yeah,
well,
that guy.
We just did one with
Chris
like White
Ellis?
Power Dave. Wasn't there a character named White Power Dave in something we just did?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the actor's name now, but he played White Power Dave in something.
That's all he'll ever be to us. Anytime he's like, hey, look, it's White Power Dave. Yeah, I love Oba as an actor. I
Yeah.
mean, mostly from this and from How High. Terrific in How High.
He's just like, and I mean, I guess maybe it's not a great trope anymore, like for this movie, because it feels like this is what he's supposed to be. There's always that, like, he's not magical in this.
No.
But there's always that black character, and
that's
the
probably what I'm
trope is
thinking
known as Magical Negro. There's actually a movie that just came out that looks
Okay.
like a terrible comedy, but it's like a bunch of people who are like, we have to, like, it's a secret society, and that's what
It's
they do.
funny because I didn't know that term, but when you say it, I know exactly what you fucking mean.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure
trope-wise.
that's not the preferred term, but that's what it was. That's what it's always been called.
Yeah.
That's what I heard it as.
Yeah.
and it's like the mammy character, stuff like that. It's
Absolutely.
that black person who's there who helps the white people stop being shitty.
I mean, we are talking about 60s. Yes, it's California, but we are not too far from desegregating.
Yeah.
Well, he does say
So-
that this is his hotel. Is he just saying
Yeah,
that
No,
because he's the
like,
front man?
He's the head dude.
Ain't
It's
nothing
the same-
happened in his
it's
hotel
the
that
same
he don't know
person
about.
as people like, it's my bar. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're just bartending right now. It's not yours.
There is a part here where Steve Zahn meets the Playboy bunny that he ends up marrying in Vegas.
Dude, female Steve Zahn. Like, she is tearing him up.
Oh, Kitty?
And I don't. It may not be a reference, but it might be. I don't know. Because earlier they were watching Spartacus, which was cut, like you said, but that's a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Mm-hmm.
She asks him, "What hotel room are you in?" And it's a good little flirting scene. But I didn't hear the rest
The
of
way
it at
he
first
ends it.
because she says He says room 237. And if you're a big nerd like me, that's the room from The Shining with the bathtub lady.
I almost guarantee that's on purpose.
Because with the Spartacus and this and like,
I almost guarantee it's on purpose. It's Tom Hanks. He's putting all his friends in this. He's making sure that he's.
And because it wouldn't make sense if it wasn't, because then she's like, how's the view from that room? I'm like, not that good. It's floor 2.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's also her like, can I go see the view?
Yeah.
And he's
Exactly.
You can
He
come up
picks it
anytime.
up.
How he ends this is how I've ended
Exactly.
things before. I'm going to stop talking now because I don't want to blow this.
Yeah, which is charming. If you keep talking, you're gonna pull an earlier in the movie when when he's talking to the
I
groupie
jacked
girl.
off to you.
I mean, that's about what's about to come out of my mouth. Like, hey, if this date doesn't work out, I'm going to jack off to you later.
Exactly.
Anyway, see you at room 237 at 5:15.
And then this is when after the record executive guy, I don't know,
Solely.
Saul.
It's
They
with
all
an-
call him Solely because it doesn't
yeah.
matter. He's fucking terrible.
I was like, Sully, no, that's Tom Hanks. That's a different movie.
Look at me, I'm the captain now. No.
The guy goes to the jazz club.
Yeah.
And acts
Yeah,
like a
'cause
fucking doofus.
He asks Lamar, he's like, yo, where's a really good jazz club?
You want
And
good jazz?
He's like, tell me who this person was in this and this.
Nails it.
Played
he's
clarinet
like-
in some random song.
Get in the
Fucking-
cab. Get in the cab. Take this man to the.
Blue spot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this is the white guy at a jazz club in the 70s, but he's just doing that like quick head shaking, like, and he's also getting fucking shit hammered.
He's fucking just mainlining martinis.
yeah,
and I
because
gotta
he's having
say,
a great time, and I
I'm
don't
a
think he
little
drinks
jealous.
martinis.
I'm a little
I
jealous.
see these boobs pass a thing, and I'm like, I know those boobs.
I recognize those tits.
This is Rita fucking
I'm
Wilson.
sorry, I did not recognize those tits. I recognize her, but I saw her in this dress, and I was like, where the fuck were you hiding those?
Oh, I mean, we
I
are
also
doing-
don't see her a lot. So I don't know.
We're talking about a dress that's doing favors.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
It's a strapless fucking... It's almost like a teddy with a skirt.
I mean, the top of the dress, like the little peaks
Like
that
Betty
are on
Boop.
the boob cover
I was
part.
thinking
Think
more
Betty Boop.
Jessica Rabbit, but not
Oh,
red.
Black.
Yeah.
the
Well, I guess
top-
Betty Boop. Yeah, you had it.
the part where it comes to like a peak and it's like where the cleavage
Oof.
comes up, that is
It's covering just
Inches.
nipple.
inches, if not centimeters,
Oh, shit. It's a
from
big
the edge of her
areolas.
areola. Yeah,
You're going to see
Areola.
that whole areola code.
I was like, yeah, Tom,
I do
you
like
get
him,
it.
like you said, being a doofus. Like the guy does a drum solo, he's leaning forward, like clapping in the
Yeah.
guy's face. Like, dude, I know you want to fuck jazz, but hold on.
Yeah.
But then
And-
we get Del Paxton,
Yeah, we do.
who's played by the great Bill Cobbs.
Anytime I see this actor,
I get excited.
the bleeps and I, we always just say one thing: Simon Phoenix. Because he
Yeah.
doesn't play Simon Phoenix, he just delivers that line.
Yeah, he's old Zachary Lamb in Demolition Man. He's in previous episode First Kid. He was his dude, right? But he was also in People Under the Stairs as Grandpa Booker, which Sean Whalen was in as Roach. So another movie where two of these people are in the same fucking movie.
When are we going to do People Under the Stairs?
I mean, I've got it
That's
over
gotta
there
be a
on 4K,
Patreon,
of
right?
course you do, right? And I
course
can't do
you
my
do.
own punchline,
Well, yeah, they can.
but I've got it over there. We'll do it.
But so they're doing some good. I'm quoting. They're doing some good cock and bull.
Cock and bull.
That's Del Paxton. Del Paxton's over there. Yeah, he's kind of handsy, but good cock and bull. What? Rito, what?
What? Okay, so what is cock and bull? Is that like banter?
Shooting the shit. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, because my first thought was, oh, she fucked him.
Spinning a yarn. Yeah, that's
probably
what it
did.
sounds like.
She might have.
Yeah, I don't know what the bull part is, but I know the cock. Yeah, it's
smacking
shooting
of the
shit.
ass.
It's
So
spinning a
in
yarn.
the world of
chewing the fat.
cuckolding, in the world of cuckolding,
Don't look at me like that.
oh, well, you said you didn't know what bull was.
I have to be in a relationship to be cooked.
The bull is the one that's fucking the lady while the dude watches.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he is doing some good. He's doing some good cucking bull.
So Rita is actually a lesbian, and she watched Del Paxton fuck her wife?
No.
What's
She
happening?
was getting fucked by
And-
Del Paxton while her ex-husband was watching when he was still her husband.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. We have gone off the rails.
Yes, we have.
We are over here talking about Del Paxton's dick.
Who's not?
But I'd like the sage advice he gives him. You know, it's like, you get you in a band? He's like, oh, yeah, and he's fucking hammered.
Oh, he's doing a great drunk here.
We got Lenny, we got Jimmy, fucking Faye.
Oh my God, right?
We got some good
He
donuts.
doesn't
Does not mention the bass player.
Not at all. We don't have him.
He hasn't
we
left
do
yet.
know. We do know he's leaving though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come August, I join the Marines, and I'm gonna be
I
gone.
love when Tom Hanks' character finds out and he's like, "Oh, you're leaving the Marines. All right, well, okay, but we have you till August, right?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You do this. You do this. You Semper Fi.
I'm betting you Tom Hanks' character is a Marine.
It has to be.
Like, right? I don't think you're really allowed to say Semper Fi to somebody.
Unless you were.
Unless you've served,
Yeah, unless you're a Marine or an actor being a Marine.
Or you know Latin and you're just saying Semper Fidelis for some other reason. But yeah, I like the advice. He's like, just be careful. Bands end. He's like, we've only been together 2 months. Well, some bands I know, that's 2 months too long.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Watch your back, save your money, keep playing, you land on your feet.
I do like when he's meeting him and he's like stumbling over himself, of course.
Oh, yeah, and
not
he's
only is he
just
drunk, but he's also
verbal vomit or
but he's
verbal
like-
diarrhea.
He's trying to introduce himself. He's like, I'm in a band, I did whatever. And he's like, you are my biggest fan. And like Del Paxton doesn't question. Like in most movies,
He's
he'd be
like,
like,
"Thank
you're
you."
what now?
Huh?
He's just like, thank you. Good to meet you.
You are my biggest fan. This guy knows who you are. Well, sit down and buy me a drink.
He's like, I'll take the Hennessy.
Yeah, Rita Wilson is, you are worthless to me now. Look at you. You couldn't get a boner.
Lamar's like, what'd you do?
Yeah. And we get the stupid scene that we alluded to earlier with Howie Long.
Yeah.
I don't want to get back into it because it shouldn't be here.
It shouldn't.
This is one I didn't appreciate because it doesn't add anything except the
You see
very
his
end
face.
where Guy falls fucking face first. Lamar's like, oh my God, we got to get you inside. Look at this
I gotta
drunk
pick
guy.
up
No,
another
you
white
do
boy.
see
Look at
another
this
part. You
drunk-ass
see
cracker.
another side of Tom Hanks's character. I can't remember his name.
Mr. White.
Mr. White. That's right.
Yeah, because you see him going to a sex party.
There's nothing else it is.
It can't be anything
Hey,
else.
quick, you want to bring him to Epstein's Island where we're going to?
I was
It's a
about to
new
say maybe
place.
it's a Coke party.
It's
but
a
this
new
is the
place that
60s,
just
so-
opened up called Epstein's Island. I heard it's got staying power.
Here they've got great roller coasters.
But
That's how Stephen Hawking got there. Anyway,
it's the only way. We do get Tom Hanks dropping the information. You're doing the Hollywood television showcase.
Remember that.
Because I know you're hammered as shit right now, but I need you to tell all your bandmates. No,
you tell them.
no,
'Cause
don't
you
tell
knew this
drunk
wasn't gonna
band
go
people
well.
anything except for where to go on stage and when.
I already told the hostess.
Oh, right before they
That's right too.
right before they all went their separate ways, which kind of shows you the band is splitting up, right? Because fucking Steve Zahn's going to Vegas for the night. Jimmy's being a dick somewhere. Ethan Embry sees some Marines and starts doing push-ups for them.
Yeah,
But when they don't show up for the showcase, and he's like, "You're still asleep, and we can't find your bass player." And cut to Ethan Embry at Disneyland with the Marines.
and Mickey Mouse and Goofy.
They're riding fucking
Splash Mountain.
No, it looked like
Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain.
Oh, I've never been to Disney.
Yeah,
I think
Thunder
it's Thunder Mountain.
Mountain
I'd
Railroad.
put money down. I do like Tom Hanks' delivery of it because he's like, well, he starts super calm. Well, we have a problem. Your bass player's missing, and your guitar player's not here, and your other guy's in Vegas, and you're still in bed. Like he just ramps up and does that Tom Hanks like fast speak.
I
You
love
get it
that.
right now.
I love that. I love when Tom Hanks does that. He does it so well.
Yeah.
But Ethan Embry's out of this movie now.
Yeah, he is.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's what. So he's like, "Okay, well, we got a replacement bass player for you who gets 2 names immediately." Scott
The
Prell,
Wolfman?
the Wolfman, or the other way around. But either way,
We got it.
can
We
this
got
guy
it.
handle our song? First of all, I was like, yes.
Yeah, look at him.
If,
When he names-
if he's ever played a bass, yes, he can handle your song.
First of all, he's a session musician, so he's a professional.
Yeah.
Second of all, your bass lines are rudimentary because it's the 60s. And third, watch this.
That's like asking me if I could step in for Blink-182. I'm like, I haven't played the bass since I was 16, probably.
But yes.
Can I say my dad was a session drummer?
No.
Yeah. So in 1977,
Uh-huh.
my dad was a
Heart
drummer.
of punk rock, by the way.
My dad was the drummer for REO Speedwagon in Ohio for a month.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Right?
Dude.
So when we first started dating, she's like, my dad was a drummer for REO Speedwagon. And I was like, excuse me? And she's like, for a month.
But it's like, it's so fantastical, it can't be made up. It's not like, well, my dad was the original drummer for Def Leppard, but then they wanted to go for like a sleeker look.
My dad
Somebody
was
with
the
less
fifth Beatle.
arms. My dad was the fifth Beatle. Like, no, this is perfect.
This is so, and there was a movie my older sister and I, Love You Carrie, that we watched, and they're like, it's not like anybody knows the name of the drummer from REO Speedwagon, and we both looked at each other, we're like, Mike Walters.
You want to know the easiest job in the fucking music industry? Be a fucking drummer for a country band in the 90s. I mean, you are using 3 things. It's a
Just
cymbal, a bass, and a snare.
You know
It's
what-
never all
you know what
together.
Actually, would be even easier. Be a drummer for a country band now because you just have to push buttons on a machine.
Ah, you're out of work now. You are
Right.
out of work.
But that's just a fun fact that I love knowing and having.
Yeah,
As-
that's a
as-
good fact.
Thank you.
As they're getting ready for the TV showcase,
Jimmy's got morning sickness.
we
He's
show
pregnant.
Jimmy's
Faye
pregnant.
got me sick. That
Yeah.
bitch.
Bitch.
But they go through like a party. It's not the green room because it's not their room. It's like a big party of all the people backstage.
And you spotted Bryan Cranston.
Dude, I saw Bryan Cranston sitting in a fucking chair. Like, it was like that. And I was
like,
that's
was
Bryan
some old
Cranston.
man.
And she's like, yeah, the guy that looks like him. And I was like, no. Bryan Cranston was there.
I forgot that he was in it because I even looked at the roommate and I was like, is he going to be back in this? Like, what is he? And then it cuts to him being the astronaut.
Which is a real astronaut, Gus Grissom.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
He was he was on a bunch of stuff. I looked him up a little bit. I didn't write it down. He did a bunch of missions, but he was like an Apollo 1 guy and stuff, which is, Tom Hanks obviously has a thing for that. That's his James Cameron taking submarines on the water.
It's his Titanic is Apollo. But yeah, he ends up being in this movie. So we're doing the show, right? And we get to Bryan Cranston doing on purpose a very awkward delivery because he's supposed to be an astronaut, not an actor. And it's kind of like having a singer sing bad on purpose.
Oh,
it must be tough for this guy to be like, well, that's the funny thing, Marv. Ha ha ha.
They do show in the control booth, they're literally reading off a script because they have the camera angles on the script. Mm-hmm. So he's just like, ha 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 ha.
I like this set. This is like dripping with 60s. It's got those, neon oval platforms.
Yes.
Kind of raised and lowered and like not the same level.
Yeah, different levels.
And you got those go-go girls go getting it.
And this is where we shoot back to Erie, Pennsylvania, and you have the mom and the dad and the daughter and Giovanni Ribisi with this weird cast thing.
Yeah, he went and applied for a job, and I do like that scene.
The best way he applied, took the sign out, and he said, I'm your man.
Is this going to be a problem? Like, no, I work hard. Heavy lifting. I work as hard as anybody. I got it.
Still walking around with drumsticks in his back pocket.
Yeah, you don't drop that look.
And then the dad's like, I like that.
That way somebody asks him, like, are you a drummer? Used to be for the Wonders. I wonder what happened to me.
I was the first drummer.
So they're sitting in the living room
fan.
around this. I think the dad took one of the TVs into home to watch his son play.
Because he's like, look at that picture.
Yeah, wow. And the mom is like, I wonder if he's talking to Gus. Oh my God,
I do
you
like
think he's talking to Gus right now?
They'll show him in the green room. No, they'll show him when he gets out there.
I like how they have their TV trays,
yes.
But it's not dinner. It's only coffee and pie.
Yep.
Because they're that kind of family. It's like,
you
no.
eat dinner at the fucking table.
Dinner at the table. I will let you take coffee and pie in the living room.
But when they do like what's he call it? The super, where it's like the shot of each band member with their name.
And he's like sucking in on shades.
And it's like, but under Lenny it says Leo because Lenny is short for Leonard.
Leonardo.
Or Leonardo?
I don't know.
It's Leonard.
It's Leonard, I would assume.
Leo
sounds sexier on TV than Lenny.
Wolfman, too scary. Move away from him. Shades, yeah.
Zoom on shades. Look at that
Jimmy.
smile.
Careful, ladies. He's engaged. Which I was telling her, I was like, and I think it was a play. We've covered on this. I'm not a fan of the Beatles, but I remember there being a thing with John Lennon when he was on whatever talk show was on back then.
Ed Sullivan, probably.
Ed Sullivan,
got a great
Carson.
shoe. Got a great shoe for you.
And there was a thing where it came up and it said,
John Lennon.
Watch out, or back off, ladies. He's married, or something like that under John Lennon. I think
that would make perfect sense. I just also think it's like, hey, let's just show how much of an asshole Jimmy is, because these exec type would do this just to create more of a buzz. Like, oh, he's engaged. I bet I can get him to love me instead.
But he sees that and he fucking almost lost his shit on stage.
You can see it in his face. He's just like taking it back.
Buy you a diamond ring.
Dude, this leads to the bitchiest thing. Like, who told him to say that? Now I'm supposed to buy you a diamond ring. You lock that down, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and lock it down.
No, he's already fucked Diane Dane.
Oh, yeah, the Diane Dane has been throwing it at him.
She is an elvish princess.
Yes, absolutely, dude. Eowyn? Does she play Eowyn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it Arwen?
I actually knew that one. No, it's Eowyn, isn't it?
I think it's Arwen.
I don't know.
Let's watch.
All right. You got 9 hours?
Yep.
All right,
I definitely do.
None of us have to work tomorrow. It's fine. But no, so this is the monologue.
Beginning of the end. Oh, he's already been the beginning of the end. This is the catalyst for it being terrible.
I think this is the best way this monologue could have been delivered.
From her?
From her,
Yeah.
yes. Specifically from Liv Tyler.
I've
the
got
way
something to
she
say.
says it.
Hey, everybody, listen up. Fuck you, Jimmy.
Well, and even Guy thinks it's going to be lighthearted. He's like, ew, fabulous Faye wants to
I
address
know,
us, so
right?
zip it. And then she's like, shame on you. Shame on you and fuck you all together. You have a tiny penis. It barely works. I'm tired of doing butt stuff with you. Not my butt, your butt.
Speaking of a tiny penis, not to go back to the very beginning of the movie,
No,
but I have a line written down, and we kind of passed it, but like it's when they're doing their practice.
If it's at the very beginning, we didn't kind of pass it. Oh, I know what you're gonna say. And it's from the added.
It's from the extended cut, and I can't find it in my notes, but.
So she said,
how's
how's Chad's arm? Oh, it's gnarly. I've never seen something swell up so big and so fast.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Don't take it personally, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's fucking Zahn.
Steve Zahn. A Zahn zinger.
A zonger.
So Steve Zahn's character is sitting there with Kitty, and Kitty's the character from
Ex-Playboy.
Ex-Playboy. She's sitting there. She's like, "Preach it, sister."
And Faye just looks at her. Who are you?
I'm
Kitty.
You could call me Kitty.
And that's added, by the way.
Yeah,
Like this speech is here, but just her chiming in is not there.
Okay.
They usually just, her and Steve Zahn walk away awkwardly. But yeah. And
I
then
loved it.
Faye bolts out and he screams at her, I should have broken up with you in Pittsburgh. And he's like, which one of you guys said that we were engaged?
Which one of you butts?
Which
The
one of
one
you
that-
butts? And Tom Hanks drops it.
The one that said you had class.
Same person that said you had class.
And it's funny because right before he said that, I was like, dude, fucking hate Jimmy. He's such a piece of shit, which is the 2024 version of saying he has no class.
He has no class. Yeah. And of course, guys leave and he's like, why couldn't you have broken up with her in Pittsburgh?
I could have taken her
I
to
don't think it
Pittsburgh.
means that. I just think it means you could have saved her
All
all
of
this
this.
turmoil.
Yeah.
Because guys still is that person that thinks about this, like her instead of himself.
And
You know, he's
it
like, man,
shows.
she could have been happy. She could have fucking found somebody else in Pennsylvania.
He was the only
Prick.
one that supported her and gave her, like, we are here because of you. He's the
He
one
was
that grabbed her
insisting
from.
that she was a wonder.
Yeah, he's
She's
like,
the one
she
that
needs to
grabbed
be
him when
signed on.
the car was pulling away without
Yeah.
her. I mean, this
Exactly.
is, yeah.
The one that took care of her when she was sick.
So now we're getting to the end where they have to go. Now they're going to record.
Yep.
Right? And Jimmy is fucking pissed.
Yeah,
He's
because we
packing
cut
up
straight
his
into
guitar.
him being mad.
Yeah. We go to the studio. Wolfman's there. Guy's there. Lenny is not. So we got Jimmy packing up his guitar, and he's like, I'm going to record my songs or fucking nothing. And you got Mr. White's like, dude, you hold on.
You didn't read your contract.
Yeah, you didn't read your contract. You're going to do that thing you do in Spanish. You're going to cover the songs in the Playtone catalog, and you're going to have one song of your own in the LP. But it's not going to be in this lover's lament shit. I want something peppy. I want something poppy. I want something snappy.
Jack's favorite line.
Oh, you want snappy? I quit. I quit. I quit. Like he
Mr. White, I quit.
I love it. But I'm also on Jimmy's side as an artist because it's like, yeah, I wrote a bunch of my own songs I want to do.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
But Tom
it's
Hanks
the
is
60s.
Tom Hanks has the high ground.
Well, I mean, he
But
literally
he's also
says
not
in the
being a
contract,
dickwad.
you do what I say you do.
Yeah, you
That's
signed
how
this.
the whole
You
speech
should have read
starts.
this.
And I had a little fun fact that, apparently on, hold on, I have to, on the Hallmark Channel's Home and Family,
Oh, go on.
Johnathan Schaech was on there, and he recounted a story that described how he made up the I Quit song on the spot when he was doing the interview or the audition, and that's what got him the job.
Oh, that's cool
So,
shit. I like that.
Like
Nice
he
little
probably
flair.
he's just
That's
supposed to
kinda
say
cool.
like I quit. I'm sure they did that because it's a dramatic scene, and he just did that instead, and that got him the job.
I mean, that's what you do.
And Guy's a little worried too because
He's like,
Mr.
"What the
White's
fuck?"
like, dude, you're in breach of contract. I'm so sorry. He's like, don't worry. No one's going to jail over this. This happens.
You're just losing all your money now,
But
buddy.
we have a hit record. Like I had a band with a hit record. Yeah, it's a very common tale. It's a one-hit
One-hit
wonder.
wonder.
It's a very common tale. So, he's kind of like, man, I've never been in a studio before. He's like, well, you can stay, but you're out of the hotel by noon. I can't help that. I like that Tom Hanks is like, look, here are the rules. I will
Yeah.
bend where I can, but I will never break. And I'm not a bad guy. I'm just doing a shitty. I'm doing a job.
I'm doing my job.
for mostly shitty people.
Yeah.
You most execs are just shitheads.
Like Soul.
Like
Sully.
Sully. Like that's the equivalent, the epitome. So he starts throwing down a little drum line, and the recording guy's like, "What do you call that?" I'm Spartacus. And the guy laughs like it's a great joke.
And then who walks into this recording studio?
The master of cock and bull, Del Paxton.
Del fucking Paxton.
And I do like, he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I'm recording with Jimmy Whitehands and yada yada. He's like, you want to get them over here? He's like, no, I'll keep this a duet. And now the end of the movie is going right from here to him going to the hotel and realizing that Faye is the most important thing. Music is music. You're going to find a band. Faye is the love of your life.
I'm glad Derrick got to see this, though.
But the extended cut was he calls Clint Howard at the radio station. He's like, dude, I got Dell here. We ran some tape.
First he says, I have nobody else who will appreciate this but you.
I have no one else to tell.
Yeah.
You will understand this.
And he tells them all these jazz musicians they're all made up names. And he's like, but can you record them? He's like, what do you mean? Can you interview and record them? That would be priceless. If you do that, I'll get you a job. 6 to midnight, 7 days a week. I don't pay much, but it's a job. That's how he stays in LA.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that we don't get that in the normal. I think that it shows much more of his focus on Faye. Like, this is what matters. I will find something to do. Well, I'll go teach kids how to play clarinet.
I think the extended one helps too, though, because he's got this opportunity. He's living in LA. He's got a job and stuff. And he also just played with a bunch of people that are made up that he loves.
Sure.
But when he gets there,
beautiful scene.
When he gets there, Lamar has sent Faye into the diner to get some food before she gets on this long-ass
angel
Greyhound.
theory.
And then he sends Guy in after her. But Guy, as soon as he hears what's going on, wants to go and doesn't go right away. So it's like he's got this opportunity. He just did this great thing with all these musicians he loves. But the first thing he thinks of when he hears Faye is in there and she's sad and eating alone is, I should go in there with her. So I think it's the same feeling you get either way, except for now you're not like, well, this guy's been great the whole movie, but I guess he's just homeless in LA now.
No. The original cut will make you believe that he's going to be like Del Paxton. I just play. It doesn't matter where. I don't need a band. I can be the session musician. I can be my own guy. I can do stuff with Del. I can be my own guy. There is a line from Oba that made me crack up when Liv Tyler's leaving. She's like, well, I'm going to take a bus, and yada. It's like, the thought of you on a bus just ruined my day.
Yeah.
No. We're not doing that.
We're getting you a jitney. What the fuck is a jitney?
I don't know.
Also, I'm not a big fan of club sandwiches, but the way he described
crispy bacon,
go in there and get a turkey club with bacon crisp and some peach cobbler. I was like,
turkey
God,
club crisp with peach cobbler. I don't even like peaches. I'm gonna eat that though.
That's something wrong with you. There's millions of peaches.
Oh,
man.
There's a lot of things wrong with me. Peaches is the least of my worries, friendo. I had a dream about being a slot machine with teeth.
I'm gonna steal this French fry from your plate right now.
I thought we were to bring back last week's episode. I thought we were just gonna get Liv Tyler in there eating peaches real slow out of that pie.
I would watch that for hours.
I would watch you watch that for hours.
And pretty much movie over. We get almost a freeze frame of Lamar. Almost.
Speaking of watching people
he
do
spikes
stuff,
that thing.
Speaking of watching people do stuff, though, Lamar is just standing there watching them make out and just smiling.
Hey.
But he likes to watch.
Hey, it's his hotel.
He's watching them kiss. He lights up a cigarette, sits on a stool in the corner.
Is it Mulholland Drive? He's got like little tunnels. He's peeping on people through their rooms. No, it's LA Confidential. Never mind.
Not Mulholland Drive.
This is something I do like in like an older movie where it's like it's this year, but it's set in the past.
A period piece.
And so they're like, during the credits, you have this is what happened, especially in like a band or a
good wrap up.
Sports.
They also do this in Sandlot with 100% fictional characters.
I love it.
I love it.
Animal House.
Ethan Embry ends up doing a couple tours and gets a Purple Heart. Jimmy has 3 golden records, which means you
with
stop
Playtone.
Exactly.
He's
which
back
means you
with
stop
him.
being a little bitch. You realized how the game is played in the 60s and just did it.
But it is with Playtone and stuff. But during Tom Hanks' speech at the end, he's about Zahn is the goofball or whatever.
Jimmy's the talent.
And he's like, Jimmy's the talent.
Yeah.
So he knows. So he's going to take him back. He knows
absolutely.
Jimmy has songwriting ability. He just needs to stop.
He knows what's going to happen. Jimmy's going to go do some fucking coffee shop tours for a little bit and realize that you can't eat off that. He's going to come back to me with a hit. I'm going to fucking do that hit.
Yep.
And then Jimmy will learn to play. Steve Zahn ends up marrying that chick and becomes a manager in Vegas hotel and then becomes single.
Yep.
Because we do see him throughout this movie descending into gambling addiction.
Yes, we do.
I love how he's got the chips, the stack of chips. I'm just so happy. Yeah.
No.
And Finn. And I say Finn because it's a piece of art.
We did not mention Guy and Liv.
Oh, yeah.
They are still together. They had 4 children.
A musical conservatory or something like that.
We were watching on Amazon and
was
the
the
little
coming
what do you
up
want to watch
next
next?
cover.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, fuck, I can't read the rest of that.
Like something jazz con something. So I filled in
He
conservatory.
became a jazz con man. I just took your money. Skibbity bop 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 da da.
And yes, Finn. And it was beautiful.
He opened a club called Jazz on Your Face.
JZZ on your face.
I got a bunch of JZZ in your ear.
He started our galaxy's first jizz band.
Ooh, yeah. Star Wars reference if you didn't know.
I'm glad I didn't.
That's what the Cantina band, the music they play, it's called Jizz.
Wrong podcast, sir.
Jizz. So, around the horn.
We're going to let the big guys
Three
talk.
thumbs up, 3 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down. That's the scale.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Oh, you know
in
me.
between.
3 thumbs up. I was happy to watch the extended cut because this is, again, like in my 20th time of seeing it. So the more the better.
This is my 4th time seeing it. Again,
I would have
I'm
thought higher for you, actually.
right.
Yeah.
No, this was only my 4th.
All right.
But you'll know the song forever. Because
I
you've now
will.
heard it 387 times.
Of course, I give this 3 thumbs up. I freaking love everything about this. I don't think that they could have. There's no character I would have replaced in this because you have to have that shithead Jimmy. I don't know of somebody who could have played it better.
You know who I can't put in this movie is Marissa Tomei.
I can't either.
Where do I put her?
Oh, Kitty.
Oh, yeah. You tell us, sister.
Yeah, preach it, sister.
Yeah.
Who are you? I'm Kitty from L.A.
Oh no, she moved to L.A.
I'm May from Queens.
So now,
Exactly.
Still the wrong accent.
That's where.
yeah, here's my variable.
3 thumbs down. No, I'm just kidding. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh!
Only because I'm not doing 3. It's a good movie. It's well put together, and even the 500-minute version was well paced. I thought, I didn't feel like it was forever.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point where we paused it, and well, there's a fucking hour left in this movie, but it went by.
At one
The
point.
song
through.
didn't actually want to kill me. It didn't make me want to kill myself. It was just, I was just like, this is a lot. And I was actually thinking about it because of Whitney, because she hates hearing the same thing over and over.
Yep. I hate repetition.
That's why
even
she's
though I
on
love
the
drums.
Star Wars podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
And it is it's a too saccharine for me, but it's a good movie. It's just not something I would watch all the time, but I get why it would be a mental health movie versus the one that I've chosen.
It's not going to end up on your Blu-rays, is what you're saying. It might end up in your wife's Blu-rays, but won't be yours.
There's only
I don't
5
know.
discs I have in my section.
No, there's more than that. I got you all them there John Hughes movies that you never opened.
At one point, I
I'm
did
gonna watch them
did
soon.
pause this to go to the bathroom. I was like, this should be over. Like, this right here is the runtime of this movie.
Yeah.
So,
and
but I
I mean,
didn't feel it.
Yeah, we paused
I had to
it.
pee at that point too, but I was like, nope, just keep playing.
Yeah, we paused it. There was an hour left, and I was like, this movie's almost over, except it's not. But it was
should
fine.
be.
It didn't feel like it slogged, and I enjoyed it. It's good. It's just, it's very Tom Hanks, sweet saccharine,
And
clean.
quick Jack's classic caveats, man. Your first time watching this should be the original cut.
Okay.
It's a better movie, pace. It's better all around, unless you're trying to super nerd out. So, there you go.
All right, that's fair.
I loved it. I'm glad we did this. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you guys
You know
for,
what?
for mental
You're
health.
gonna get a
with
golf
me.
clap.
Golf slap.
Is your mental health better than when you woke up?
Yes.
All right, see,
Yes.
it worked.
Yeah.
Wait till the next episode.
All right, so what's coming next week?
The next episode is my pick.
Oh,
I'll let you guys
hold on.
go first. I should
Let
have
me
done
guess.
it the other way around.
Rubber.
No, I know
No.
what it is.
Oh, I know what
rubber.
it is.
Rubber would be like a. I mean, I love that movie, but that's a regular. That's a regular.
This might be
episode.
one that I don't like.
I think this is why my eyebrow is twitching all night because I know this is coming.
We are watching Donnie Darko.
I will say this: it's the best Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Have you seen Nightcrawler?
Nope.
Nightcrawler's
Oh, wait,
pretty
him's a
fucking
cop?
excellent. No, he is a creep.
Ambulance.
He's a creep who takes pictures of he's like a photojournalist, quote unquote, like freelance who takes pictures of car accidents but starts making them happen.
I have seen that.
no, I haven't
Did I see
seen
it with
that.
you?
No, because I've only seen it twice. And
You
it was
don't have it.
before we were. No, I don't have
The
it.
Shocker.
point of that statement was I just don't really care for Jake Gyllenhaal much.
Do you
You
want to?
know, it's funny. Whitney was watching the new Roadhouse the other night.
I was going to say,
and
Amber would say that is Jake Gyllenhaal's best movie.
I came home in the last
She's
15
young.
minutes, and he was saying some snappy lines, and I was like, I feel like I'm just hearing Donnie Darko say snappy lines to people, and it's real weird.
That's
Yeah.
literally how Amber described it to Derrick. She's like, it's Donnie Darko saying shit.
Not selling me.
Also, he's is it Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home or
Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays Mysterio.
Homecoming.
yeah,
It's not his best. It's fine.
It's the second one, right? So yeah, Far From Home. It's the one where they go to Europe.
Yeah.
No, it's not his best, but he's good in that too. He's good in stuff.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying he's not great.
You're just mad that he was Prince of Persia.
Oh, dude, fuck that.
Wait, he's not a guy from Persia? He's
He
just
is.
a regular ass white dude?
It's weird.
Right?
Weird.
It's hard to tell, except for his voice and his skin and the way he talks. And
That
acts.
movie has Ben Kingsley and it sucks.
But yes, next week we are covering Donnie Darko because I love that movie, and I'm stretching the definition of mental health because you wouldn't necessarily watch that movie if you want to feel better, if you're a normal person.
But that's not the point. It's about your mental health.
That's the point of this. That's why we wouldn't do Donnie Darko for a monthly mental health on our Patreon. Right. But this is we
something
each
for
get to
you.
pick our own, and it's something that you've watched 1,000 times that you love to watch any time
you
of day.
have shirts of this. You do not go a year without watching this movie.
And I didn't pick Requiem for a Dream, so
I know.
Oh, God, I'd have so many more qualms with you. Like Donnie Darko is one thing, but like Requiem for a Dream is the movie that like I think everyone should watch once, and if you watch it a second time, you're probably weird.
I have watched Requiem for a Dream no less than 20 or 25 times.
God, what the fuck is wrong with you? I gotta go.
One time
He married
I want
me.
a box of like Foley noises so I could just like have like Jack's leaving.
Where's that cat? There was one time I tried to watch that movie.
Bork.
I did a bunch of mushrooms, and I was at my friend's apartment, and he was at work because that's how his apartment worked.
That is like the third worst movie to watch on
Well,
mushrooms.
look, I was sitting there and I was thinking like, that Clint Mansell score, that'll be great for mushrooms. Like, Clint Mansell does great. Like, it's orchestration with electronic stuff. It's awesome. So I put it in. I made it as far as them pushing the TV.
Just listen to the soundtrack, man.
Listen
to the soundtrack.
The soundtrack's what made me put it on. I literally made it as far as fucking
10 minutes
Jared
in?
Leto and Marlon Wayans
Yeah.
pushing the TV. Like, they took the TV from his mom and were pushing it down the street, and I was like, nope. So, can't do this. Anyway, That's my pick.
Deal with it.
If you want to hear more Bad Movies, Worst People, you can go to badmoviesworstpeople.com. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople, where we do mental health movies every month. It's only $3 a month, and you get one of these every month. This month, we are doing Hot Fuzz, because everybody loves Hot Fuzz.
If you don't, I mean, you can just turn off now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to like our humor.
I mean, I've only referenced it in 50 of our episodes. You never fired your gun up in the air and gone, arg?
My dad is not Judge Judy and executioner.
Don't forget, you can send us an email, badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. You can request movies. If you give us a little story, something fun, not a story per se, but some reason.
Give us a little essay.
Go back and check out our Deadly Run episode from March, and you can hear why we did that. We got an email that gave us a good reason, and it gave us a good reason to do the movie.
Listen to us do that, but don't watch that movie.
No, listen to us. Do not watch that movie.
We did that for you.
If you really want to watch it, you can go on eBay and get it. Or you know what? Send me an email at badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. I will send it to you.
I still.
We jumped on that grenade for you.
You mentioned that. Heather, I love you, and thank you again for that beautiful comment you gave me.
She said she loved her voice.
Yeah.
I'm just still mad at Heather. There's an hour and a half I'm not getting back.
It is an hour and a half. We're not getting back,
3
but
hours?
You know what I could have been doing? Sleeping.
I was
going
going to say something else.
I don't do that either.
It rhymes with your name.
Wait, I'm going to back off?
We thank Evasion for our opening and closing music. That's all for this week. You know what, Jack? This is your episode. You start the outro.
I don't know how we do it. I'm normally checked out by
I already
now.
said,
No.
just say your name first.
So, this has been Bad Movies, Worst People. No, hold on.
All right. Guess what? I have been Whitney.
I'm Spartacus.
I am Spartacus. Good night, and do that thing you do.
To yourself.
Oh, wait. Give me 1.5 seconds.
Jesus fucking Christ. Get your shit together.
That's the opposite of getting your shit together, by the way. Letting your poop out of the group is what I would describe that as. This shit's never been looser and wetter, sir.